Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello. We did
Hello?
it. We did it.
We're
I just
here.
forgot what. I remember I've forgotten one thing. It's fine though. It's fine.
Okay. We're only 15 minutes late.
14.
14 minutes.
14. We'll take that.
A minute matters.
A lot of it is me, because D&D prep is hard, and I got distracted by test streaming. I apologize. Hi everybody. It's nice to see you. Haven't seen some of you since last week. Others I've seen in various chats or in Adam Case's various streams throughout the week. We've got one silver lining to this horrible case of quarantine, is that lots of people are streaming D&D or just streaming in general. Additionally, we also have the benefit of Animal Crossing, which is generally streaming constantly, which is amazing, and it has kept most of us sane. So thank you to Jenny for just
I'm
doing a
just
service.
doing my duty, you know.
Just doing a service for the rest of us. Just keeping the rest of us sane. I hope the rest of you are keeping safe, washing your hands frequently, not going outside unless you need to. We are going to play some D&D. If you guys could tell us if the levels and stuff are okay in chat, because I know we were having some problems about that previously. Was that last week or the week before?
It was the week before. I just turned myself down a little bit. So, wait, Tom, keep on speaking.
Hello.
How's the sound between this? I don't want to be louder than Tom.
Test sound.
I want it to be level.
I want to be louder than Tom.
Fucking wash your hands.
I hope it's all good. Hope it's good, but let us know if it's not. Right, so last week, in the last session, it's hard to be louder than Tom. My feelings. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a new mic at some point, but my third monitor, first world problems, is on its last legs, so I need to get a new one. It didn't turn on today, and I was like, well, does technology
who could
just
live
decide?
with two monitors? You know?
But I mean, who just decides? Nah, not today. It's perfectly fine last night, but today it was like, nah. Right. So last week, you guys set off on a quest, a brand spanking new quest. Not a quest, a brand spanking new favor. A brand spanking new thing to do.
Yeah. We just happen to walk in this direction.
Task is good. A new task that was set for you by your best friend, Thistle. The mysterious, otherworldly lady who seems to have taken an interest in you and has set you off on this quest where you are, where you are doing her a favor to retrieve something vague and mysterious, because she's a very vague and mysterious person, from a well in a ruined village, a day's worth of travel from where you left off. Along that traveling, you found a spooky light that was glimmering through the trees, and that spooky light led you off of the path, off of your due north trekking that Oro was helping you with because of her amazing rangery skills. You don't look convinced by that, Jenny.
That's all Oro can do, is just point people in the right direction.
That's basically what a life coach is. So, like...
Oh my god, I get paid a lot. You're the right place.
Life ranger.
Life ranger. And you were somewhat distracted by the glowy light. Finding it off of the beaten track, you found that there was a small bridge. This bridge, being like most bridges in D&D, was quite old and falling to pieces. And on the other side of this bridge, they can build bridges. They just don't last an eternity. All right, it's a very ancient world.
Well, they should be. Got magic, for God's sake.
Use stones. Like, come on. So this was a wooden bridge, unfortunately, so it didn't last forever. But what you found was there was a floaty ball of light on the other side. Tempted by its mystery, you ventured across. Doing so revealed to you that there was a shit ton of corpses and spikes underneath it, and it seemed that there was still some mystery ahead as the light whooshed away. And Oro was like, I've got a bat. We could just fly across this. So Nugget obliged, revealing to you on the other side of this bridge that there was a large tree, or at least what used to be a tree. It was more of a ashen stump that was the size of and had been incorporated into a house. Somebody had been living here. Although, unfortunately, it looked like it was a long time ago as it had been burnt to dust. Inside this, you could hear whispers, and venturing forth, you found that there were signs of a struggle. A few bodies, including those of some goblins and an elven lady. Or an elven person, rather. Elven person had been killed. The goblins had also been killed. Will-o'-the-wisp revealed itself on top of the house, and you guys were like, fuck this shit! No, rather, that's not how it went. You went to go investigate the Will-o'-the-wisp, and the Will-o'-the-wisp was like, fuck off, achoo, and sneezed to make Oro fall off of Nugget, who thankfully saved the day. And then that combat went down. You guys managed to murder it, thankfully, with a little bit of oomph. Despite the fact that it had a very high AC. We had some very solid hits landing from Oro, and then nothing from Randall, and then Neurally just deleted it with magic missile. Low health, high armor class.
That's not how I remember
magic
it.
missile.
I was gonna say.
You were very
here we are.
helpful.
Randall was very cool, that's for sure.
Yes.
Randall was very cool.
The
There
coolest.
was a lot of climbing up and up the
missing.
wall, and then missing a
acrobatic
bunch,
stuff.
then falling down again. That was cool stuff. But on the road again, we went, and we found
We couldn't wait to get back on the road.
on the
again.
road again. Yeah. Ooh. And you arrived at your destination. What appeared to be an old abandoned village that had now been reclaimed by the wilderness. In it, you found an old well. The inside of the well had marks that claws and fingernails had been on, as somebody had used it to climb down, because you found a small opening on the inside. Thankfully, we also discovered that Neurally can be 10 feet away from water without being pulled into the
dying.
abyss,
Woohoo!
which is nice.
Oh God, you just called it an abyss. Did you hear that? I heard that.
I heard of this.
Stepping into this crawl space in the well, we had this revealed to us. Big, spooky cave. Huge, spooky cave. Most importantly, very scary water, as somebody has written and then underlined. This
Very important.
big old pool of water underneath us. On the far side of this cavern is what used to be a bridge, because again, bridges are shit in D&D. And
Just can't get the workforce.
it looks like on the other side of the bridge were many, many wooden poles that have been used as some kind of a drawbridge, but has been pulled up. On this side of the cavern, there is a pathway that leads down, kind of like a spiral. But unfortunately, some cave-ins have covered the path, leaving only a small entrance here to your direct south. Each of you are now inside the crawl space, and this is where we left our last game. Okay?
Mhm.
Nugget managed to join you because Nugget can
That's
cool
what
down
Nugget wants
wells.
to do.
It was a little bit clunky, but it worked. Here we are. All four of you inside the well.
Oh, these steps.
Yes.
Now I understand what's happening.
These maps can be quite difficult to understand. So just for clarity's sake, this kind of
It's a
lined
cliff.
area here is the steep cliff downwards into the water, which is about 20 foot before it hits the water. You cannot see how deep the water is. The ceiling is quite close to your head at this level, but the ceiling remains at the same height as the cave spirals downwards. So here you're about 20 foot away from the water at the top, but closer down here, you would be maybe 10 foot away. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. You can see on the far side of the cavern, along this wall here, are some sticks, not completely unlike the ones at the bridge, but these are separate sticks that appear to be dangling off of the cliffs.
Like spiky sticks?
They are wooden sticks. They are maybe
Like they used to be rope bridges and they broke,
Oh, I see what you
kind
mean.
of thing.
Not like the sticks in the ground.
not like sticks in the ground. They look like they may be fastened. Can someone give me a perception check?
Sure. Why am I on that sheet?
Can 2 people give it?
Yep.
15.
Ooh, there's the first crit
roll
fail
of
of the day.
First
Wow.
roll is a crit fail. Amazing. Okay. Oh dear. Well, Nurily, you're quite confident that those are fishing rods.
So the fishing rod is what's dangling?
Yes. No. So there are fishing rods that have been. They are like leaning and fastened to the rock in some way. They are leaning over into the water.
Okay. So yeah, as I like get into the space fully and kind of like am taking a look out, I think somebody's fishing over there.
Is that what I can make out now? That there's a fishing.
With pointing out. Actually, no. You got crit one. you got now one. You don't see shit. No. No. You do. You see now that Nurily has pointed out that it does look like there are fishing rods there.
But there's no sign of anything else. It's just fishing rod.
Yep.
Okay. Why would you fish in a cave in a well?
Presumably there's fish.
Yeah.
What?
Didn't she say
One of
that
those games.
Didn't she say that the city was in the well? So there's people or creatures of some kind here.
True. Yeah.
And this water is probably connected to some sort of water source that must attach to a lake or something. So. Or maybe there's horrible things down there. We don't really know, honestly.
I think we can guess that there are horrible things down there. We've just crawled down into a well. Into a cave.
Randall's getting very negative about water, and he's not the one that's got the ring on.
It's not just water.
Okay, just everything. Just being very negative about everything.
Just very
To be fair, he's the one that died in the water or
That's true.
passed out in the water.
That's true.
So
True. Forgot about that.
Mhm.
Should we walk down this path a little bit then?
yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
she's looking for fishing poles. So
She might be. She was so vague.
We'll have to
Buzz.
just take everything that we see to bring back, just in case.
Loot everything.
But when someone says, you'll know it when you see it, I don't think that I have seen it.
Well, I know a fishing rod. And I've
You'll thank you for the D6 bonus. You said need to balance that nat 1. True.
Good call. Good call.
Thank you.
Smart man, that fool. Okay, so what's the party's plan of action?
Slowly make our way down the spiral. Not down the steep cliff into the scary water. That will
wouldn't
most
be
definitely kill me.
Just
But
jump right in.
oh, this way.
Cannonball.
So, let me just walk you down here. So you are now getting to the entrance of this little cave mouth here. So as you get a little bit closer down there, you can see now on the opposite side of the cave once more that there is a door up here that was hard to see at the angle that you were at previously. You're now getting closer and closer to this cave mouth here, and as you do, you see that there is a stone tiling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal just this part to you. Okay.
Tiles
Until
like intentionally made tiles, like flooring.
Yes, these are stone tiles, as in these exist as part of the structure. You can see that these are, for the most part, completely nondescript. They look old as fuck. They look worn down, and you can see that there is some kind of damp moss that grows in the cracks. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hope you're doing well. Hope you're being safe.
On the fishing, just out of curiosity, on the fishing rods that we see over the other side, is there like, are they just the, I don't know what the proper term for fishing rod equipment is, but is there like a line, a tackle like going off the fishing rod, or is it just the stick of a fishing rod?
So there is it's hard to see from this distance, but it looks like you can see kind of small ripples of movement in the water below. So it looks like there must be something dangling from the rod.
Right. Wonder how long it's been there. There it's.
Yeah.
We can see if there's dust on it when we get closer.
And there's no one here watching it, so if they did catch a fish, there'd be no one to read it.
It's true. It's very true.
Wanna go in this room?
Yes. I want to peer into it from the outside.
You peer into the room. That is not what I wanted to do. I've accidentally drawn instead of... Get out of here.
We peer into the room. There's bad acting. Badoomcha.
I get it.
You're tearing me
Okay.
apart, Lisa.
And I'm with you.
When we are apart, I feel it too.
So, in this room are two pillars. To the northern side of the room, there is a third pillar that has kind of been somewhat assumed by the rest of the wall that has kind of caved in over time. Because bridges fall apart and so do caves. Don't build anything
Nothing's
underground.
forever. That's the lesson from
I mean, it
today's
makes
D&D.
sense. There's tectonic activity. If there's water running through microfissures, then it'll wear it away over time. So it's perfectly sensible.
Shoddy construction.
No dwarves involved here.
I was like, you're not a dwarf this game. You can't say that.
Yeah, but I know the dwarf lore, so
Ah, right, that's true. You read the writings.
Yeah.
On
On
the
the far
wall.
side
On the
of
wall,
the on the wall, on the far side of this room is a door. Otherwise, this room seems quite indescript. The two pillars in the center look like they may have some kind of art on them, but it's been worn away.
What?
So we
Well-
see like smudges of color, or is it like etched in?
Yes. No, you see etchings of well, smudgings of color with some etchings occasionally.
well, let's take a look.
Do you want to see what's behind the door? I
Sound
think
like you said tickle it to me, and I was like, tickle it. Tickle
tickle, tickle.
If it laughs, it's a mimic.
it.
Mimic column. It falls on you.
I guess even if I have a look at these drawings that we can't make anything out at all, not even.
Give me an investigation check.
I will help and cast guidance on her. I see her looking at something.
Bam! Advantage and a plus whatever.
Plus D4.
Oh my
no!
god!
It's gonna be one of those games. Oh well, I mean, okay, at least we got one thing.
Fucking hell.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so what you see is it looks like almost finger painting, from what you can tell. There are smudges of different colors. Some of it's red, some of it's green. There are browns in there, but for the most part, it's very, very kind of basic, almost barbaric, tribal.
Is he?
Barbaric would be a bit of an unfair word to use. Tribal. Primitive.
Primitive.
Simple.
But there's nothing I can really like make out. Like there's not a a person or a
Nope.
or a well or a secret
Nope.
code to go.
The code to the vault is
Yeah.
spear, spear, deer. 5-pointed star.
The things on the pillars just look like finger paint or something.
Some
Right.
basic shit.
Can I take a look as well?
No.
Oh.
Because I helped.
Yeah.
Okay.
That counts as 2.
Alright.
I'm never
I mean,
doing
you
an
can take a
investigation.
you can take a look, but we won't. I won't take it as like a. So, like,
Nope.
for example, if you're going to take a look, it will be the equivalent of taking 10. Like, we'll just take a 10 roll plus your modifiers.
What's your investigation modifier?
None.
Okay, so essentially you roll a 10,
Okay.
which gives you the same information as RO. These look like the equivalent of finger paintings. They're very, very simple, very primitive. There are some edges of color that, spattered around the place, but it could just as well be dirt as paint. Though you do see that some of them are on the wall, as well as the pillars.
When she describes it, do the swashes of color, like do the green look like they are in the shapes of humans or humanoids?
Is washed away with time to the degree that it's difficult for you to make anything out.
Okay.
But the things on the walls are similar.
Yes.
Are they all across the walls, or are they just like in a
They
like
are
a
concentrated in one location.
what height?
They are concentrated all about from 0 to 3 foot off the ground in one location.
So I can see them great.
You can see them perfectly, yes.
These like drawings for me. For you tall people, look at me.
It would make sense if the opening was this small, that if the people that live down here were short, perhaps goblins or halflings or gnomes were shorter than humans.
She's being very selective with her language.
Wait, do you want to go through the door?
Yeah, it's so quiet down here for people living here. It's a little disconcerting. But I think we should look through the door. Maybe that's where they're at. Maybe it's soundproof.
Can we knock just to try? Or just a quiet little knock?
So you knock on the wall, the door rather, knock on the door, and there is no response. But as you get closer and closer to the door, as you're about to go, you put pressure on a slate, a piece of stone underneath you. It makes a grinding noise and a click, and as you do so, you hear noises behind you. From above you, wooden spikes come flying out of the ceiling, dangling at about humanoid head level. These have skulls on them. They have been fastened and tied on.
Aura looks up.
They are like a good couple feet away from you. But they would be in like eye level for a humanoid around 5-6 feet.
That's kind of scary.
There are maybe 10 of them, and each of them has a different skull on that's been strapped and tied. Some of them have these all have painting of a kind on them, and it's all red or black, and they're in like there's like an X mark over one eye and that kind of stuff. Like it's very clearly a warning.
This is comforting.
Very.
You know, she said they wouldn't be upset when we took the thing, but she didn't specify whether or not they would just be upset if we were here.
True.
No,
We
I
didn't-
I
Go ahead.
asked if they would be like friendly towards us. I swear.
Oh. Maybe they're just not friendly to.
I asked if they would be hostile, and she said they weren't going to be hostile. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Maybe they're
That
just.
doesn't mean they won't have traps set
Yeah.
that kill indiscriminately.
Or maybe her definition of hostile is different than our definition of hostile.
Maybe.
We didn't, out of character, we didn't take a rest before we came down here, right?
Nope.
Good. That's good. Really good.
I mean, we can go back up if you wanted and take a rest and come down.
Maybe there's a nice resting spot through this door.
Yeah, these seem like a good indicator of rest.
Is Oro still on the thing that she stepped on?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a mute.
Maybe don't step off of that yet.
Okay.
I want to go like kind of like tiptoe over, like I'm gonna like crouch down and like try to move around like to the side of one of them and like take a look at it to see if it looks like there's anything to do with it other than just literally being a skull on like a stick.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay, I'm gonna guidance myself.
Sleepiest Channel D&D campaign number 2. Dom, the DM, finally discovers how amazing investigation checks are.
Okay, 1 second. Also D4. 18.
You can't just add guidance to things if you haven't.
I said I
You said
guidance.
it before.
She did say.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
While you were talking and being like,
YouTube is
blah,
the
blah,
Tom
the
figures
DM.
out investigation, right?
And I was like, I
Tom
guidance
finds out how
myself.
funny he is.
If you go back and watch the VOD, you will hear
no,
me
I
very
trust
clearly
you.
say.
I trust you. I trust you. No, I do trust you. I also trust that you will also try and sneak those in occasionally.
If I forget about it, yeah, maybe.
While Tom was monologuing. It's very important that I'm hilarious, Adam. Okay. So you can see that some of these have, like I said, most of the paint, some of the paint has worn away. It looks like maybe the paint here has been somewhat better protected than those on the walls and the pillars, because it's not quite as worn away, aged as the others. Some of these have very poorly spelt words on them. One just says out, but it's OWT. And the other one says get, but it's GIT.
Get out.
And then, yeah. And then one of them says fick off. So there's lots of very poorly spelled common.
But no, like, blow dart apparatuses inside
Nope.
or anything like that. Okay.
That seems pretty simple.
Maybe it was Get Owl.
It says to leave, and then I think there are some circus words.
Sorry, what?
But
Can I see it from where I am?
I'd like point it out. I think there's nothing in here that looks dangerous, so you could probably move now.
Okay.
And I pointed-
I'm gonna make
the-
sure I'm not stood directly under one. Or steps off.
I'll move
All
on.
right, so you alleviate the pressure, and you hear the stone moves back into place, and you hear a whirring noise as the spikes get drawn back up into the ceiling.
Nice. Were the words? Wait, where were the words? Were they in the?
On the skulls. And
Oh, on the skulls. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just have to believe it's circus words. Cappuccino. Cappuccino.
Cappuccino and mocha.
Cappuccino, though. Surely there's another way to say that.
The coffee thing I can't spell, mate. Leave Mars alone.
Oh.
A drink, a caffeinated drink.
Gotcha.
Fancy one by the sound of it.
Do just out of character. Do you need to rest, Katie? Do you want to?
Not yet. I mean, I'm down a lot of spell slots, but I've got 2 first level spells and 1 second level spell. So
Tom did a look. Tom did a look.
I did a look because it's very DM to have your players walk around being like, I'm going to rest to make sure I'm at my full capabilities. I'm going to rest so I can make it my resting constantly to be always full slotted.
And that's what I was trying to avoid. Like we've been told we're fine. This is kind of making us feel a little weird about it. But after like once we encounter something where we've actually been attacked, that's the point at where it's like, okay, maybe we need to go and like take a breather, that sort of a thing. But
I have no problem with you guys if you want to play in a way that involves you being able to rest to get your spells back because you've used them. That's totally fine with me. I'm never going to have an issue with that. However, until you get spells that make you completely immune to being fucked with whilst you're sleeping, I will take advantage of that occasionally.
True.
Note to self: take Lumen's tiny hut at 3rd level. Just like real life, we're always tired. Oh, it's so true. But I'm good for now.
Okay.
Like I said, if we encounter something and we have like a combat, that's the point where she's going to be like, I don't feel so well. I think we need to go take a break. But I'm good for now.
Okay. So once I've stepped off this, I'm just like, well, what do we do?
Is there a handle on the door?
No, there's no handle in particular. You can see that there are marks in the stone where hands have worn away, like the superficial layer, skin of the stone, and it's just kind of worn away. The surface, that's the word.
The skin of the
bench.
I'm just gonna like go over and like I go to push the door open and then I stop and I like look around the door to see if there's anything that looks amiss, like check it for traps.
Investigation.
Oh god. Will we ever get through this cave?
Not with our rolls.
15. You notice how I didn't guidance that because it was kind of impromptu?
Oh, Katie. There is no sign of traps that you can see.
I'm just gonna like.
Okay. Pushing the door open reveals a room.
What type of hacks would I use? I know that the word HAX means hacks. I was just wondering what hacks. Ooh, an exciting room.
A room. This room is filled to the brim with skulls.
Nice.
This is not completely unfamiliar to you because you've been in a room full of skulls already in this since getting to Nesmith, if you recall, the cave in the north of Nesmith. But this room is filled entirely with skulls that you can identify very easily. These are all goblin skulls, every single one of them. They are lain with respect. And some of them have kind of offerings in front of them. You can see that there are what are now desiccated and dried out plant, dead and gone. You can see that there are they're put in piles that may indicate families. For example, you can see that some of them are specifically huddled around certain skulls, and you can see that in the walls here there are kind of holes that have been mined away that more skulls have been fit into. It's all done a little bit haphazardly, but only probably because of the skill of the makers, not so much the reverence. It looks like it's been done very purposefully, ritualistically, and with respect.
Does it look like they've used incense or they've burnt anything as an offering at any point? Or is it just flowers and stuff?
You can smell quite thick on the air that there is some kind of musky, perfumed scent, and there's like some smoke about it, but it's hard to determine how old it is. It's not new. It's not fresh.
Okay. I'm just going to find like a crack in the tiles on the floor and stick a little incense in there and like prestidigitation it lit.
Sure.
I don't think there's anything else in here.
Is this an Oro story arc? I don't want to assume all gobbos know each other, but
Or racist.
how many skulls, Tom? How many skulls fit in a room? Have you done the math? No, because I would do the maths.
That's true, because
only
they
do one.
apparently do more than one math at a time when they do
No,
arithmetic.
I'm kidding. But no, I have not done the maths. There are lots of
we
skulls.
do the maths.
The
Math
maths.
is math is
But there's a lot. Gobbo skulls are quite small, and these are piled on top of each other in some cases. And like I said, there are holes that have been dug into the walls, and some of those holes are behind piles of other skulls. It is. They are very
Packed.
numerous. It's packed, yes.
They are not socially distancing.
They're all dead, so they're doing the most social distancing it was possible.
It is in fact impossible for them to be social currently in their present state.
The perfume smell, what are we talking here? Katy Perry or Beyonce own brand? Flesh out the story. The devil's in the details. It's like a smoky perfume, as if it was maybe some incense.
That's why I lit some
Odor
incense.
skull.
But it has been a long time since it's been lit. It's difficult to make out the exact scent.
Flavor.
Yeah, I was going to say flavor. But that's not really the word, because that would include
I like
you eating it.
I like using the word flavor when it's meant to be a different word.
Astrally social. I'm just gonna turn around and like walk out and wait for them because I feel like I'm done here.
Aura's a little bit overwhelmed, but she's kind of turned around and doesn't really know what to say.
So Oro's never met another goblin before, has she?
No.
And today is the first day she's ever seen anything goblin adjacent.
Mm.
And both occasions have been dead goblins.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's read stories of goblins and she's seen what goblins look like. Knows how to speak goblin, but she's never interacted with them.
Okay. So do you think that her goblin is like how did she learn it?
These are things that I haven't talked with you about, but this is what I thought of last game. I was like, perhaps when she was a kid, she was just adopted mom in inverted commas would like had found books or something of like Gobbo language that had been
pick little bits up.
Yeah, there had been like little bits, yeah.
Okay, sure. So would you say it's a bit like assuming that when we went to school and we learned French, that we remembered all the French and that we were quite good. So we're fluent, but if we spoke to a French person, they'd be a bit like, I get what you're talking about, but this is slow and painful to listen to. Or do you feel like she took to it quite naturally?
I feel like, you know how like a lot of kids pick up languages real quick, like they'll be able to be like bilingual really easily if they have two parents of different like that type of thing. Like maybe she spoke with it with her like adopted mom.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. Character development. Okay.
Do we know that she's never seen a goblin before? I don't think we've talked about it.
No, you've not
Okay.
chatted to her about this kind of stuff.
I can't remember what I said last time when I saw the skulls, but I said something like other goblins or something along those lines that was like I'm shocked about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Oro, you guys have now stepped out is it Randall? Have you stepped out of the room as well? Or are you?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that you guys have stepped out just a little bit before Oro, because Oro's taken her time to kind of be like, "Whew, gotta calm down and take this all in. This is quite a lot." So she steps out of the room just after you guys. You kind of give her a couple extra seconds, return to you, and now you're with Oro. Your full accompaniment
Avoiding the special stone.
and avoiding the special stone.
Big special stone. It's a lot of other gobbos.
Yeah.
It looks almost like a graveyard, like it was respect intended for those who have passed.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's carry on.
Do you know if that's something that commonly happens?
No.
So it's unusual.
Yeah. Yeah. You can kind of tell that Aura's been a bit like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I imagine not every society is the same. Just because you share like certain characteristics doesn't mean that you're all alike. So
Yeah, surely.
were there not any other goblins in the circus?
No. Oh, this is a lot of goblins for someone who's never seen any other real actual goblins other than me. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Fine. Let's go. Let's go. Nora just walks back to the stairs in the by the cave.
Just never seen another goblin.
Guess not.
I can hear you. I'm like 5 feet away.
in a cave, yeah, where it's like really acoustic. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm just gonna follow her. We should have asked.
Fine. It's fine.
So you take a step outside, back to the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you are. Across from you is another walkway on the other side of the cavern, a long fall into some water, and the pathway ahead is blocked.
Don't specify that there has to be a long fall into water. It's like that is an option that we're really desperately going to try to avoid. As I like look over and I'm like, where are the fishing poles? Is that what's right here, you said?
They are all the way over here. They're on the other side.
Oh wait, hold on, I missed. Oh, okay, I see.
Also,
Okay.
Adam, I'm not saying that there are no skulls on the floor. It's all around the walls. So it's lining the walls and in piles on the ground at the base of the walls, not in the center of the room. There's no large pile of skulls.
For a country that uses stone for how much people weigh, I'm not going to be lectured on math by y'all.
It's the mix of units, man. You can't mix your units. Also, stone is a stupid measure.
Isn't it like 20 pounds or something?
I have no idea. Every
Okay.
something.
Okay.
Please
I'm
do
going
this.
to, now that we've encountered one trap, just kind of keep an eye out for like tiles that look weird or things in the road that look like they're put there on purpose, tripwires or whatever.
Okay. On the whole, being investigative.
Yeah, cautious.
Okay.
Roll
All
for
right.
caution.
Well, where do you want to go?
There's only one way, right? Like further in.
That is blocked.
Oh, I thought these were stairs.
Those are stairs. Yes.
Oh,
blocked.
is this a cave in? Is that what that is?
That is a cave in, yes.
Well, guess we're going back.
Time to leave.
Well, this quest is
We're
done.
done here.
And the roof, has the roof sloped far enough down that Nugget can fly in here?
So it is still pretty much like here for you guys. You're like a little bit hunched over whilst you're in here. The staircase does make the gap between yourself and the ceiling slightly higher. Nugget probably could take people, but it would be very difficult for anyone apart from Oro, simply because mostly when Nugget lifts you guys, it's grabbing you, and there's not really a lot of space to do that. Especially with or Nugget being a bat rather than say a hawk or something.
Yeah. So like down here, it's the same. The stairs don't give us like an extra 10 feet of space or anything.
Yeah, it's maybe 2 or 3 feet.
How steep is the steepness? Is it like completely vertical, or is it like a bit of an angle?
Down into the water?
Yeah.
It's in different places. Sometimes it's absolute, just complete steepness down into the water. Sometimes it's just there are slight word.
There's a slight word. Okay.
Incline.
Thank you.
Is it like?
I used to think that I had quite a good vocabulary and that my verbal fluency wasn't so bad. Then I started DMing.
No, it's not that you have a bad vocabulary or that your verbal fluency is poor. It's that you have like DMing just does this to people. It just makes you go like, what's that thing? That you like
The hoo-ha
sit in?
thingamajig, what's
like,
it? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's that thing that's like you can sit on it and.
Or maybe it's just both of us, because when I DM, I'm like, yeah, it's like that, like it's like color, like purple. Just purple.
Is there no way of like people being able to fly on Nugget if it was to like go on his back and like grab onto his like head, but like hold on that way?
Medium size couldn't. You can. Nobody else can.
Does it look like we could crawl over this cave in? Like it's a slow.
No, it's
fall?
the full-on column of cave-in.
Can I climb around it?
Yeah.
Was
Does it look like slippery, or is it like?
So all of the
like
inside of
grab
the
onto?
cave wall is at least somewhat damp. You can kind of see that there are like droplets of water that will kind of run down the wall in certain places, and in others there is moss. But there are certain areas where you think you could maybe have a handhold and something. It's not, you don't think, impossible for you to make it around that corner.
What if Nugget? You use Nugget as like a platform. Yeah. I was gonna say stepping stone, but platform's better. And you can like scale around that way. You get it? So like jump on there, and then Nugget's that way, and then you blah, 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 blah. You get it? Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Could that be doable? That could be doable, right? Oh.
If I'm like,
Hey, I
climbing across
assume that was all in character.
Oh yeah, was it?
What's the out of character stuff? Out of character me. What do you want?
Well, you won't.
I was just going to ask the same thing, really.
Okay. Would it be possible to use Nugget as some kind of platform?
Yeah.
To get around. So what's Nugget doing in this situation? Like hanging onto the wall or flying or what?
He was hanging on, yeah.
Hanging on, okay. And then using what, Nugget's face or Nugget's butt?
I don't know.
Well,
Which is
surely
wider
it
and
has, like,
out.
strong shoulders where the wings attach.
Yeah.
You could stand like either side.
Okay, so either side of the face.
Yeah.
Both feet right on his nose, right on his little banana nose. Ring, banana nose.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Yeah. It would require a
like,
strength check from
like-
Nugget.
And then like climb across at the same time. So
Guidance.
On Nugget?
Doop.
Wait, who's doing it?
Nugget's doing a
I mean,
strength check.
are you? Is this your plan?
Let
I mean,
me-
at the
let me-
moment, at the moment, to me, it seemed like you're discussing this plan,
Yeah.
and then some of us are saying this plan is happening right this second. So let's let's pull it back to
Okay,
discussing
alright.
this plan.
Let's think of our options here. All right, team. 1, Nugget's a
Fall in the
platform.
water.
No, that's not it. No, not fall.
1, Nugget's a platform.
Nugget's a platform. do? Anyone suggestions on?
Can I climb around? Just climb
Maybe if you fly over and look, you'll find something that'll help us over there. Like if there's a place where there's like a stake in the ground, and you could tie one of does anybody else have rope, or was I the only
I got-
person that
I
had
got
you have more
rope
rope?
too.
I got rope.
Then we can like use that to like swing around and rappel or something like that. But we won't know until we can see what's on the other side of it.
Okay. So I should fly with Nugget over to the other side of this caved in bit.
Just to
Just to
see,
see.
like make like a flyby, like just look at it and come back maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's no need to stop.
Unless you want to, unless it looks safe.
Okay, yeah. Alright.
Just around the river bend. I couldn't help it. Chat did it to me. Damn
Damn it. Okay, let's do that then. Sure.
For me.
So wanna
So where's Oro flying to on Nugget?
I wanna go here over this area to have a look.
I'm not seeing the ping.
Oh.
Oh, there,
you see
okay,
that?
okay, yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
see.
realize you didn't see it until I stopped clicking. But
Yeah.
yeah, to like fly around this bit, to like
Okay.
hover there, and so I can see what's on this bit,
Okay.
and then maybe just like loop back around
Do
and
a loopy
Loop.
loop.
back here.
A little bit of loopy loop.
Loop.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, with ease, you mount up onto the top of Nugget. Nugget kind of easily pushes themselves off of the cliff face here, and takes a couple of flaps and finds themselves easily gliding around the inside of this cavern. You see what you would expect to see here is that there is a continuation of the path. There are some more steps as it goes down. You can see that it gets a little bit more steep here, so there's a more space between the ceiling and the foot well. And that there is another cave in directly afterwards. You can see that the walls look like there are certain areas that are more jagged than others that you've kind of slipped and fell on them. That would be quite painful. But apart from that, there are, if you were careful or if you were a good climber, you'd probably be okay getting around it. Is there anything in particular that you want to look out for? The information that you're actually looking for?
Well, like Nerdy said, anything that was like in the ground that you could tie something to or whatever.
Okay. So it doesn't look like anything is there already, purposefully laid.
Mhm.
There is a stalagmite, i.e. a piece of rock sticking out from the floor upwards, and a couple of stalactites above it that look like they are sturdy. That you imagine if you wanted to attach a rope to would probably hold.
Right. And whilst I'm like looping around to look over this way for these, do I see anything over there, like anybody or any?
So as you loop to here, this red circle here, you see that to the south there are two big doors. Two big doors, one of which is slightly ajar. You cannot see with any detail on the inside of the room, however. You can also see that there is a door over here. You cannot see any signs of life here. That's nothing moving. There are no individuals or creatures that are making any kind of moves towards you. That you see under the water surface, there are some fish. You do also notice that the walls along this side of the cavern over here are a bit more patchwork than the stone walls in the rest of the area. They look like they've been fashioned into some artwork. They've been carved. But it's like it hasn't used much color, so it's harder to see.
Okay.
In addition, of course, you can also see the drawbridge-esque mechanism here. That is only accessible from this side of the walkway.
Wait, from this side?
Yeah.
So the drawbridge is down at the moment?
No, the drawbridge is up.
Oh, right, okay.
And if you wanted to lower it, you'd have to do it from that side.
Oh, right, okay, I see. Do I see this bit down here, like past the drawbridge, or do I not see that?
Yes, you do. Yeah, it's just a continuation of the waterways underneath you. It's more cavern, more
More the
water.
same.
Can you see how deep the water is?
Do you shout that out in the echoey cave?
Like a whispery, like trying to make sure she can hear. I said it softly on purpose. Like, can you see how deep the water is? And if she doesn't hear me, I'll ask her when she gets back.
Yeah, no, she's not hearing you over the flapping of Nugget, no matter how quiet bats are,
Okay.
and the whistling of the wind, as it were, or the air rather, past her ears as she's flying.
Alright. Okay. I mean, Aura would probably look to see how deep the water was anyway, but if you want me to go
Okay.
back and ask, then I can do that. And
No, if you think that's something that Aura would do,
Yeah.
you can have a bit of a cool swoop down by the water, kind of like whoosh, and like
Wingtips,
glide
like,
across it.
gliding.
Yeah, the wingtips go into the water. There's ripples underneath you as it goes, and it's just you like woo.
Aura doesn't do that. She's not moving.
I'm king of the world.
Somewhat distracted by how hilariously fun it is. No, you. It's too dark underneath there. There are small areas where there are bioluminescent growths underneath there, and again, you can see some fish across the surface. But after
Small
that, it
fish or
gets
big fish?
big fish, not huge fish, not like terrifying, going to eat your fish.
Sharks, just sharks.
Fish that would feed you well. But it's hard to
Oh,
see much
so
further
you want to
underneath
go
it.
to dinner at their house?
Yeah, they'd be generous with their larder and portion sizes.
Finish with their larder. Like you had to train your dragon montage of flying.
Okay, I'll go back to where we were then.
Okay, some flaps back up, takes you back up there. You had a
Mhm.
wonderful little loop-de-loop on Aura on Nugget. You've not had too many opportunities to really like fly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've had the company of Nugget for a little while now, but you've not really had an opportunity to like set to the skies and just like flap around or at night or anything. So that was a little stretch
Cool.
for you.
It was cool. Okay, so. All right. Okay. Wait. Hold on. I need to talk as Aura. I was like just about to be like, what am I doing? So there's those what they call like ground thingies, like you know how some come up the bottom of the ground and some are like down, that way, and there's like cave things, you know the cave.
Things?
Yeah, they like grow from the caves, like some of them go up and something
Like a plant?
Although, like rock formations.
yeah, there's some of those around there that look kind of like sturdy enough to tie something to, I guess. Wait,
You can try that.
when I was down there, you know how you said it was it went down so there was more space. Do I think that Nugget could pick up these two if they were both from there? Okay. So you guys are like saying stalagmite. Yeah, Aura's being purposely stupid. She wouldn't know the word. She would not know.
I grew up around a mountain, but I don't think I would know the word stalagmite. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was basically it.
Like rock.
Yeah, rock that goes that way and rock that goes that way. Those things. We could tie a rope around them, maybe. I don't know. And then, because the ceiling, well, the stairs go to the stairs, and then there's more space, so Nugget could like pick you up, and then we could go to the other side.
Oh.
From
So
there.
basically, we just need to get around this one, and then Nugget can carry us the rest of the way.
Seems it. And there's like across the other way, like she points where that big door was. Basically, she points over there. There's a big door over there that's like slightly open. And there's another door around the corner. But I mean, that was a big door. A big, slightly open door.
Wolfo, I was gonna call them cave teeth at some point. Oh, Adam said it too.
Cave teeth. Oh, I should have called it cave teeth. Shit. Calling grass earth fur.
I'm gonna take if there's like there's like a cave in, so there's like little rocks and stuff. I'm gonna take one that's not like part of the cave in that looks like it's still like attached, like one that's like kind of like fallen out or whatever, and I'm gonna cast light on it, which is gonna take the light away that I think I might have cast on Randall momentarily.
Blind.
1 second. Well, you can see right now, and I'm just gonna like throw it over the edge and see how far down it goes. Yeah.
Okay, well, less than a second later, it splooshes into the water, and after another couple of seconds, you see that it starts to sink into it. It's difficult to see how deep it is, but you can see that the luminosity obviously dims significantly to the point where it does get there's still a vague, slightly lighter area in the water, and occasionally you see silhouettes go across it, but it's difficult to determine how large the things that were creating the silhouettes were and how deep the water is.
Well, it's not bottomless.
Hey.
That's comforting.
Hey.
Now, what did I cast light on you?
You cast light on me because I went
was
down
on
there
the-
first.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
On your rivet.
On a stud,
Doing it
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
I've got a drift globe.
I was going to say,
don't
you're
need your light no more.
Drift globe.
did you ever figure out what the word was?
Your homework was to
Yeah.
find a magic word to turn on your
one.
drift globe.
Haven't got it.
Right now, come on.
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift is the magic word that you've chosen.
It's the first thing that came to my head.
Good
All
homework,
week.
dogs.
You're quarantined.
We're home all week.
Yeah, but
Being home doesn't mean you're not working.
yeah,
I am opposed.
think of something better.
I think we can give you time to think of something better, personally.
Yeah, I'm not going to rush you. Yeah, think of something, but do think of something better. Oh my gosh. Tokyo Drifters. Oh my god. So, for context, for those of you who aren't aware, Dox's character Randall has a small floating globe that will follow him around, giving him light to see. It's called a drift globe, and it is a magical item that requires you to use a magical phrase to turn it on. Basically,
It could be a weapon if you threw it
get
at
in the
somebody.
mood. Yeah, true.
Get it in the mood.
Don't like this narrative.
But anyway,
Just gotta warm it up. Sorry.
Jeez.
I think somebody who's better at climbing should go first, maybe. As I look over at the water.
Oh, I can go first, but I think I used my rope to bring us down here.
Oh, if we used yours, then here I have one, and I open up my backpack and I hand you 50 feet of hempen rope. How about this hempen rope?
oh my god.
Is there anything on this side to attach it to?
No.
Awesome. Well,
Us.
I mean, I could go and try to do that.
oh yeah, you could. Oh, or can you like?
How far away are we from the columns?
You tell me.
I mean, like if we're here, how far away are we from the columns? Like, is that like 20 feet away, or is that like, are those squares 5 feet? So we're 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35?
Yeah, they're roughly 5 feet.
Yeah, or you can just go and attach this rope to one of those cave teeth things.
Cave teeth. Cave teeth. It's a great word.
Over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I guess the point would be to try those out. So,
Okay. All right. I'll do that.
because if I try it, I'll probably die.
I mean, I'll try. I'll try my best. All right. Let's go over there.
Okay, so you're going to fly to the next cave-in area,
Yeah.
tie one of the bits of rope to one of the stalagmites,
Mhm.
and then bring it back to the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you do that with relative ease. You know, you're an adventurer now, so tying ropes, and you worked in the circus, so tying ropes for you is pretty bread
Easy.
and butter stuff, easy peasy.
Mhm.
And you return to your comrades, rope in hand, slightly extra damp because Nugget was chewing on it.
God damn. Do you want to use Nugget as a little stepping stool? I'm sure Nugget wouldn't mind, right?
Nugget looks at you, side eyes.
Excuse me, Adam. Excuse me. How
Circus.
this here, how like wide is it across? Like, is
So that is probably
In
about
nuggets.
8 in nuggets.
yeah, in nuggets.
It's probably about 8 feet, not included. Like if surface area, probably about 10 feet.
Okay.
I can do it.
But as Nugget is going to be like stepping stone.
Nugget wouldn't be able to help them all the way around.
Can
Where?
Nugget just be below? So if we fall, Nugget can like spring into action and grab.
Yeah, that's what that was the other thing I was thinking of, stepping stone and also catcher of others.
You could definitely have Nugget perched below, just in case somebody slips from the
Yeah.
rope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or slips at all. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna have Randall.
Yep.
You want to go across?
I'm gonna do it.
Okie dokie. Give me an appropriate check.
Athletics.
Investigation check.
Insight. Because I'm reading whether the rocks are good or not.
Athletics. I'll take it.
I want to try and do it slowly as well, so Nurali can try and see where like I'm using handholds and stuff.
Are you going to point out to her that she should be paying attention?
She's also
Yeah,
muted. I'll point out that she's got a silence cast on her for some reason.
I'm definitely watching because for me, this isn't like an, oh no, I'm in the gross water. This is like, I'm going to die if I fall because I will drown. I'm absolutely watching.
Okay. So, Randall, how would you suggest to her that she should watch?
But if I go first, I'll try and point out good handholds for you as I go.
Okay.
And then I'll go like slowly and purposefully and like find like the really secure ones rather than just like ones that would work.
Sure. Okay. So, I mean, she can see you for the first couple, but then you start turning this large stone structure. It's quite difficult for her to continue having her eye on you as you are no longer in eyesight. But she does that. You definitely get a bonus to the handholds for the first part, at least.
A sense of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Handholds.
Are you gonna mark the handholds in any way as you go past?
Sure.
I have chalk if you want.
Yes, I
DM
will.
feeds an idea.
I'll take your chalk.
Just put it in your mouth and like, this one?
Well, if I put it on my hands,
Oh, yeah.
then everything I touch will be chalky.
True. Nice.
So maybe
Yeah.
the first couple.
Well, I have a piece that I can like break up and put in like a little pouch or something, and you can like.
And like, I feel like I'd be able to like remove one hand at a time. I'm like, because to move one hand, you've got to like take it
Yeah.
off anyway.
Yeah,
So.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're I mean, you're a confident climber.
Well, you have to let go to move your
Yeah.
hand, so it's like just a matter
Yeah,
of.
there's a difference between being like and being like.
That's fair.
But no, you're a confident climber, and so you're going to mark chalk on the handholds that you use as you go around. Okay. In which case, you make it across quite safely. You've got the rope attached to you. The rope is kind of dangling from. I mean, how much rope did you? 50 foot of rope. You tied around the thing. Anyway, that's I mean, it might not even. You
No,
might
it
even hit the
didn't-
water before it goes taut.
I didn't
But-
tie it like the other end. You tie it so that it's like relatively tight.
But still.
Otherwise it'd be
Okay.
silly.
Okay. In any
I'm
case.
30 feet
So
underwater now. We're safely.
Okay. So you climb your way across. You've got this rope attached to your waist.
Yep.
Yeah, and you've got the other one on the stalagmite on the other side.
Mhm.
You can find your way around quite easily. You're very competent at climbing, and it's not super difficult. Fortunately, you don't slip at all as you make your way, and you mark it very clearly for Nurali. Then you unravel the rope, send it back.
It's like,
Okay.
whip it around the corner.
Yeah, I'm going to make that. I'm going to skip past the how do you whip.
I'll just get
this
Nugget to
much
do it.
rope.
Nugget will just grab it.
Okay, Nugget does it. Okay, so when it arrives at Nurali, it's extra damp.
That's okay, because my
well-
clothes can't get dirty.
Oh, your hands can. All right, so
Not if I put them in my sleeves.
Extra grip.
I like to think that it's like velvety. So you've got like your sleeves around this thing, you're like sliding down the road.
I don't like velvet. Don't do that to me.
Silk then.
Silk is
Either way,
good.
so you've now got some quite visible handholds that Randall's left behind.
Also, remember that I took prestidigitation, so if the rope comes back to me damp, I'm just gonna be like, and yeah, okay.
So please give me a relevant skill check and do it with advantage because of the handholds.
Okay, good.
And you
That's
maybe,
good.
maybe think about this and
I'm
know.
definitely guidancing me. I'm gonna die if I fall. And I have a
Jenny.
-1 to athletics.
Jenny,
maybe think about.
that was so good as well. It's like you weren't like maybe guidance yourself. You're like maybe think.
Think about it.
18.
Okay, with an 18, you confidently make your way around the corner. Maybe not confidently.
It
Maybe
takes forever. I'm a little teary-eyed by the time I get to the other side. And I kind of like stand on the ground like shakiness and just kind of sit down for a second.
Okay, maybe competently is the word.
Competently.
Yeah, not confidently. Competently make your way to the other side. The tears welling, but not quite dripping. As you get to the other side, just hold on to the stalagmite.
Yeah, exactly. And then just kind of like do the thing where you like melt to the ground, but I'm still holding on to it. So just like a pile of robe around me and I'm just hugging the thing. Ugit is a level 20 druid who is bored. I really love the idea that that's true. Just one day Nugget just turns into a dragon and we're like,
Wait a minute.
didn't know you could do that. I'll untie the rope and hand it back to. Oh wait, this is my rope,
This is
and
your
put it in my bag.
I hope that Nurali does that as well. Like goes to hand. Oh wait, this might.
Like,
Okay, I want to call Nugget to on the phone. Hello.
it's me.
To pick me up and come and drop me off around like here-ish. On the other side.
Where, sorry?
I hadn't marked it on the map.
Okay, sorry, I was zoomed in too far.
Landing zone is marked.
Okay. All right. Well, and that is exactly what happens. Nugget comes up. You manage to climb onto Nugget's back. Nugget pushes off and glides over to the other side, dropping you onto the stone surface.
Cool.
What's the...
Send
Well, then
Nugget
we'll
back
send
to go
Nugget
get
back?
them. Yeah.
Okay. So Nugget pushes off of the cliff edge and flies back over to the stairs now with enough room above them for them to get grabbed and pulled over. Whilst you are waiting for Nugget to arrive, you hear a kind of a clamor in the wall behind you as before you have a chance to react even, slats are opened in this kind of the art that is this makeshift cover over the front of this wall is removed, brought aside, and some hands jump out of the wall and pull you in, and then the facade is replaced. you are now in the pitch black with at least, I don't know, you can feel at least four pairs of hands on you, on your shoulders, on your arms, on your legs, that have just grabbed you, pulled you in, and then closed whatever facade was on the other side. Nearly, you got a face going on.
Who was it that got pulled?
Oro.
Me.
Okay.
So this is on the far side of here.
But we could see it.
You were watching Nugget
I mean,
come towards you.
Okay, sure.
So you're gonna have like hand over mouth. You can definitely scream and shout if you want to scream and shout.
Oh, yeah, or I would have definitely screamed.
I'm not going to take that away from you
Okay.
anyway. In fact, if you'd like, you can make a dexterity or a constitution saving throw.
Okay. 18.
Okay, so that is a very hefty saving throw. You go kicking and screaming. The only reason that you don't succeed in this is because there are literally like 5 people grabbing you from inside this hole in the wall and pulling you up. And you're not like a huge, hefty barbarian. You're a small goblin. So grabbing you and pulling you away is not super difficult. But you make a hell of a lot of noise as you do so, and you are sucked away into this void inside the wall. We're going to go quickly between scenes here now. Okay, Nerly and Randall, reaction.
Oh my god.
She said they weren't going to be mean.
Well, yeah. She did.
Nugget, hurry!
Nugget kind of gets to midway, hears the clamor, sees you guys, and then turns around, sees that Oro is like shouting and screaming midway through getting pulled in, and the wall closes behind. Turns in midair and slams against the wall, biting and clawing, trying to open it up.
How was that again? That was perfect.
Have to rewatch the VOD if you want that again. But that is, so she's been sucked away into the wall. The wall has closed now on her, and she is now inside this wall somehow. All you see, she gets taken away, is her flailing and screaming behind the figure of Nugget, who is flapping on the way to you, before Nugget responds to your shouts and calls and the sounds from behind them, and then turns around and batters at the wall in the hope of making some kind of dent in it, break it open to save Oro. Hi, Tess.
Hi,
Hi, everyone from Tessa's stream.
Hello.
How's it going? You've you've arrived just in time for Jenny to be stolen.
Oh, that water sure looks scary.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Did you kill the Soul of Cinder? I knew we shouldn't have given Oro a name. Now Tom can use her against our feelings.
Given Oro a name.
Exactly. If you name people,
That's when Tom's gonna kill them.
I'm gonna take them away from you. You did it and Nameless. You didn't just do Soul of Cinder and you were like, I'm out of here.
I'm so good at video games.
I'm gonna be obeyed.
Shit, that's awesome. Congratulations. Oro.
Mm-hmm.
As you are screaming and shouting, you see the darkness envelop you, and you are very conscious of the fact that there is now a hand up in your mouth, which, would it be fair to say that you've probably bitten by now?
Yeah.
I mean, that someone's trying to specifically cover your mouth. You made an amazing Constitution saving throw, so you are kicking and screaming like they are struggling to keep you. So there is by no means are you locked down for very long. You kind of break open quite quickly, but the wall is now closed in front of you. You can see now as your eyes quickly adjust to darkness because of your innate ability to see well in dim light, that you are surrounded by about, where are my notes? Here we go. DM counting time. Uno, dos, tres.
Are you counting to the theme of an ice cream truck? Because that's
There
what.
are about 10 goblins around you. Some of them are holding torches. Many of them are holding clubs, shields, daggers, spears. And the one closest to you kind of goes, "What doing?"
Well, of course, I want to try and talk in Goblin back. Help!
Okay,
We're
he's
trying.
absolutely speaking to you in Goblin.
Yeah. We're here to help to get something from under the well. For
What doing with them?
no, they're good. They're good. They're fine. They're
They
fine.
sticky bad.
Well, yeah, they do stink a little bit, but it's fine. They're good people. They're good people.
What are you doing? They start. You can see they're all fascinated with you. They are like poring over your like clothes. They're like getting really up in your space, just like lifting up the inside of your jacket and like looking at all the like the pointy bits you've got on your
All
like
my daggers that I've
the
got.
patches. Yeah, one of them's already opened up the inside of the deck and looking at just admire the daggers. Some of them's already trying. They're trying to pull out the daggers and admire. Like, oh, this one's shiny.
That is shiny. That is shiny. Yeah.
Oh. What doing?
We were told to come here to grab something for someone that you didn't want here anymore.
Ooh, they're like barely paying attention. Like only one of them is paying attention to you.
Wow.
The rest of them are like just pouring over you, absolutely, like completely enamored with everything they see. Like one of them's just like playing with your hair, like whoa, oh, and you just hear like fucking stop this. You're just like stinky humans is no.
They're good though. They're not bad humans. Not bad humans. They're good humans.
They kind of try and push you and lead you away. You find out that you are in what looks like some kind of long corridor that lines the inside of this stone wall. It looks like the stone wall is the one that you would have seen outside is like I said before, it's a facade. It's fake. It's quite convincingly made to look stone. But from this side, you can see that it's a lot of very poorly constructed wooden planks that have been kind of painted with ash that have got mechanisms that slide backwards and forwards. The real stone wall is now here, maybe a couple of feet away from you. You're in a very closed quarter situation. You can see that this area is lined with kind of bags and just trinkets. You can see there's a bucket full of bait because you can you can smell the stink from here. Like there's a couple of like dead fish that have just been left lying on the floor with bites taken out of them. There's like some old clothes in a bed laying beside you. You can see at the end of the corridor, there is a break in the stone wall that leads into part of an actual structure. You can see from here already that the stone has already been, it's purposefully carved and made and placed rather than just naturally forming. And they are kind of like pushing you along, and some of them are ahead of you, dragging at your clothes and stuff. The others are behind you, pushing you. And as you kind of resist, you're just like, my friends are fine. They're not that stinky. You find yourself in an opening that looks like a kitchen. It smells almost good. There are huge pots and pans that have been kind of battered and worn with age. The smells are partly rotting meats, partly some very strong smelling stews. You can see that there are some bones sticking out of a bubbling pot in the center that's large enough to double you in size, that is kind of almost buried in the floor. You can see in here that there are patchwork leather kind of paintings and parchments put around the walls. Most of them have a similar kind of art style as the stuff that you saw upstairs, except this time you can see them and they are vibrant colors. Some of them are really genuinely beautiful, but it's all very kind of abstract, as it were. Some of it is a lot less abstract and some of it is just strict stick figures, but some of it is very beautiful. And you see that you are surrounded by even more goblins. And shortly you find yourself with maybe 20 goblins surrounding you. And they are all like just absolutely fucking fascinated by you.
I mean,
Oh, what's this?
Oris
Picking
used
up
to
swords.
that. A gobbo grotto. Aw.
That is excellent.
That is amazing. Oh, shit.
Tom Hefner over here in his robe. Listen, you dress up. That's great. But I'm lazy.
Can we let my friends in? They'll be really worried and they'll be like angry that I'm gone. We don't want to like scare them, you know?
No sticky humans is in here. No, they're gross. Bleh. Hate them.
Well, these are good ones though. These are good ones. And I have a bat. I have a really cool bat. Do you want to see the bat?
Big scary bat.
Big. He's
How's it
cool
not killed
bat.
you?
He's not scary. He's a good bat. He's got like
He didn't eat you?
No, he's good bat. He's friend bat.
One of the larger goblins looks over at you and it's kind of like pouring and just like, looks tasty, yous.
No.
No eats you?
No. We're here to help. We're here to help. We will go.
What you got? Gifts is.
Oh, you want a gift?
Gifts is for the queen.
The what?
For the queen.
Do I have anything?
Must be giving gifts is for the queens is.
Hold on. Let me look at my
All
inventory.
turned into Gollum.
If only we hadn't already put that ring on. Here you go.
Do I have anything kind of cool to give someone? I have a broken ornate saucer. It's ornate.
Oh my god.
I have half a sword.
They're goblins, so.
Don't give them half of a sword. That's probably a sword of destiny or something. Kidding.
Someone
I'm
gives you a
not there.
broken
You do
thing.
whatever you want.
You just fix it, and then suddenly it's going to be an.
You just wait for the Elven
Max level
Lord to
item.
come and be like, "Oh, this is. I have the other half here. Let me reforge it." And our
This
ancient.
sword is Bliff Bluff. Blade of the Bliff Bluffinin.
That
Oh,
sounds like
no.
something in Goblin. What does that mean in Common? Ooh, a jar of dirt. I've got a jar of dirt.
Oh yeah, I do have a jar of dirt. I forgot that. Yeah, I have a jar of dirt and an ornate saucer. I'll get that out of my pocket. What about?
Okay. What is?
This is a ornate saucer that I found in my travels.
Oh.
Look at it. Look how pretty.
Oh, it's cool. What does it do?
No, it's just for decoration.
Okay, give. And
Give.
they pull you into the other room. You find yourself in what looks like a makeshift. This area that you're now pulled into is down a couple of corridors. And as you are pulled down here, you can see that there are torches that are kind of hanging out of holes in the walls. You can see that there are small little gobbo children who are pitter-pattering around trying to chase the crowd. But you kind of get drawn into this other room that looks like at some point it was not a barracks but a sleeping area. You can see that in the walls there are big kind of enclosures that have like cloth and leather that have been put aside where people might have been sleeping, but it's not being used as that at the moment because it has been repurposed. At the far end of here is a makeshift throne. This does not look like it was meant to be a throne room, but it looks like it is at the moment, temporarily, a throne room. At the far end of the room is what can only be described as a goblin queen. This magnificent,
Right?
this magnificent creature is sat and is covered in kind of all sorts of kind of handmade jewelry. You can see that parts of them are, there are bones that are intricately woven into them. You can see occasionally there are bits of like what appears to be dried skin that's just kind of been put in there. Like that's kind of like a cool thing that someone's done at some point. There are some stones that look like they may resemble gems, but they are probably just painted. And you can see that there is a makeshift crown that kind of sits on top of the head. most importantly, you see that she has an elongated neck from having many, many, many necklaces. There's neck bands around some, the kind of tradition of having these neck bands around their neck. She is fast asleep.
As a queen should be.
Exactly what I was
She
going to
is
say.
absolutely conked out. Oh, gifts for her! Gifts for the queen! She does not react at all.
She seems to be sleeping.
She's powerful. She's so powerful. She doesn't deign to entertain you.
Oh, yeah.
Look, this. And they take the ornate bowl from you, and then they just kind of like the jar of dirt, and they look between each other. Mud?
Dirt. I mean, dirt and mud are technically the same thing, but it's just dirt.
Why?
I found it and thought it would be cool to keep.
Okay.
I mean, I could take it back if you want. If you don't want.
They place it at the foot of the queen's throne, who is again absolutely completely out of it. And they just like, look at her marvel, look at her majesty,
Wow.
look at all of her chins.
Oh, to have so many chins. Oh.
I was wondering where that was going. Now it makes sense.
What a queen she is.
Chins in the chat.
Chin queen.
Quick. Where's my...
One moment while I switch from coffee to wine.
Oh, I put Oro by accident at the bottom. That'll do.
All right. Dressing gown comes off. Dressing gown too hot.
Oh, shit. Business now.
D&D stripping stream.
No, it's not. No, it's not Twitch. Don't worry about it.
No, not Meat Snake, no.
Meat snake.
And with that, we will have a bio break.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds like a
Love that.
plan.
Yeah, good time. All right, it's bio break. If you're new to the stream, hello. Our bio breaks are very short. We don't tend to fuck around for very long. Oh no, that's not right. We fuck around for a very long time after the bio break.
Just we're here.
But we're here, yeah.
But we're here. We're here and we're talking. We're on stream. We don't do it. We don't fuck around whilst you aren't able to notice.
Exactly.
Maybe a little bit.
Hey, Casey.
The bio breaks are my kind of content. I came for the bio break. Wow.
That's-
BRB.
Sick.
That's sick.
Sick, bruh.
Yok there, yam. See, this time there was no me fucking around pretending that I didn't need to go to the toilet. This time I just went. Well, but thanks, Tess. I appreciate it. I'm proud of me. Casey. How did your stream go? Did you make much progress? I didn't want to stick around for too long because I knew that at some point you'd hit my point of progress in Alex, and I didn't want to. I got to spooky parts and stuff. Oh no! I think he made a chicken dab. What? I think if you got to spooky parts, you probably got to the part that I got to. Oh, the head crab. At what point was there a chicken? Welcome back.
Chicken?
I said that Casey made a chicken dab. Oh, I can see what you mean, though. Like, they do look a bit like raw chicken.
Yes.
Like,
a kitty cat.
From the freezer. A kitty cat.
She was clawing at the door earlier, like, let me in. And I was like, I muted myself literally and was like, go around. Because I usually leave the other door open for her so she can come in through the bathroom. It was closed. So she's been laying there like, the whole time. And I opened the door and she was literally like laying at my door, like,
how dare you?
Pay attention to me.
Yes, exactly.
How did you get that layout for Twitch? Looks really good.
I did it.
That's the best. That's the best post.
I made it.
Me.
Thanks.
Jenny does all of the work around here,
No.
apart from Snorts, who does all the modding work.
Oh, yes.
Chat. Snorts does all the modding work in chat.
And he does all the stream work. Tom does all of the D&D work. And now that I'm not playing a bard, I don't do shit until it's time to play. No songwriting in my downtime.
Jenny takes commissions for a custom one.
Mhm.
Well, I'll leave that to Jenny.
I do. You can email me or go on my art Twitter and send me a DM. Or add me on Discord. Or, I don't know, send me a pigeon. That might,
Just send me
With a
smoke
pigeon, not
signals,
just a pigeon.
please.
Just send me a pigeon. I want not a message. Just send me
She
a
can
pigeon.
speak. She can speak pigeon, so that she can communicate with the pigeon.
Cool.
What about a message in the bottle?
Or that.
Message in a bottle. So my friend Saucy. Last night I saw that on Discord she was streaming. You know how you can stream in Discord.
Oh.
That awful thing that no one ever uses because it's terrible. She was streaming her playing Guitar Hero 3.
Oh shit.
But she was doing it. She's playing it with an Xbox controller, and I was like, "That sounds like hell. I don't understand why you're doing that to yourself." And it was. I mean, I popped in to go and watch her for like a whole song. It was a blast from the fucking past. I remember because I was telling her. She was like, "Oh yeah, I remember when I was playing. I used to play online via competitive stuff." And she met some like 12-year-old kid who also playing with the controller rather than just like the actual guitar controller, and they became good friends. And I was like, I remember me and Jenny used to play on the Wii, and I had my PC in the other room, so I had to run all the way up the stairs to type to her, to run back downstairs to the TV, and I couldn't play for very long because I'd be taking up both the computer and the TV.
Way too much.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Feel old. Right. Oh, away from that scene, we're now back
Goblin
with
Queen.
Randall and Nurali. We've currently got Nugget face deep in a
Wall.
in a wall, in a wooden wall, tearing at it apart.
I'm making progress.
Nugget, come get us! Nugget!
Okay, you might need to get the rope, and we might need to climb. If
Mm-mm.
Nugget isn't going to come. But
Nugget, we can help!
Nugget is very intent on saving Oro.
I don't think Nugget's gonna leave that wall.
Don't
Don't worry, I'll keep you safe, fish. We'll tie yourselves together with the rope.
I'm just sitting on the ground and like I hand you the rope.
Aww.
just follow what I do.
Maybe you should go first and see if there's something to tie it to on the other side.
Okay. I'll tie the rope to myself for no reason, and then I'll go around.
Okay.
I'll hold the other end. I can't stop you from falling, but I'll hold it.
I appreciate the gesture.
as Nugget starts to kind of rip and tear into the wall, some people will appreciate that reference, some people won't. You can see that there is some progress has been made, but Nugget seems to be frustrated and kind of gives up. Also, I mix up Oro and Nugget occasionally, so if I've made a mistake there, then that's why. Nugget is the one that's doing the ripping and tearing. Gets frustrated, kind of sinks down into the floor, and kind of just makes some like just leans their head back and just makes a crying noise. And then kind of just starts like clawing at so the base appears to be stone, but maybe a foot up, it seems you can see that there is now a slight hole, at least, where Nugget has clawed open some wood, and you can now see that there is kind of a facade going on there. And then kind of gets frustrated and gives up, and then turns around and sees you guys about to try climbing around, launches himself off, comes over to watch you. And just kind of looks at you and then looks at the other side.
Yes. You me to.
I know, I'm eating a chicken nugget.
It's a Fig Newton.
Oh, man.
But not
Really not
Fig
chicken
Newton,
nugget.
it's Nature's Bakery. They were cheap at Costco.
Sounds like a
Nugget,
good right
we can help. Come get us.
Okay. Nugget starts to flap and just kind of grabs you with haste. Unfortunately, haste means grabbing you around the waist sideways. Flap, flap, grab with feet, launch away. So this is me being about.
I need to give that.
Out of context, that's going to be the campest thing I've ever done. But it's going to launch away from the wall and take you to the other side very, very quickly with more speed than you've seen out of Nugget for a while. And just haphazardly drops you before going back for Randall. You kind of slam against the floor, not taking any damage, but uncomfortable at least, as you land and kind of
damage.
roll. Dignity damage, so. Before coming back, grabbing Randall in the same way. So this time you've got the rope tied around you.
Yeah.
But we untied it from the
comes
wall.
over, grabs you around the waist, and starts flapping. And you're like, ah!
No,
Are you still attached?
The rope isn't tied to anything at the other end.
Okay, so in which case, easily,
Mm-hmm.
deftly steals you away with the rope kind of dangling in the wind underneath
I was
you.
expecting him to grab the rope instead and just like.
Oh, that would have been much better. That would have been much better. But swoops to the other side.
Around.
Has a little trip around
Yeah.
unnecessarily.
And drops you down. Not, well, safely, but not comfortably.
Okay, well.
Safely is more important than comfortably to me at this juncture.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I guess I don't need this. Can I have your rope back?
Put in my pack.
Right. And then I want to go straight over to where Nugget's been like ripping.
Okay, so Nugget's been battering at this wall, and you can see that to a certain extent they've made things worse. You can see in there that there is some kind of mechanism that could be used to kind of just like a lever or something that could be used that would clunk clunk move some of the this facade out of the way. But they've kind of clawed it and broken some of the wood that makes it looks like a little bit jammed, which is probably why they got frustrated. But there's a very small gap, maybe, I don't know, 30 centimeters across, where you can see into the space behind this facade, and it's very dimly lit by what you can assume is the flicker of a torch.
Can I see any mechanism that I could like jab through the hole to like unjam it?
So the gap is at the base of this wall, which is a foot off the ground.
Okay.
There is no mechanism that you can see from this angle, and it's
Right.
just again, it's about a 30 centimeter.
Made out of wood, though, right?
Yes.
What if I just lit it on fire?
Oh no. Oh no. Don't do that.
we don't know. We don't know what's in the side.
It's true. We don't know if there's any explosive fungi in there. I'll let you try something first.
Oh,
And I'm gonna light it on fire.
Literally anything. Can I put my like face in the hole?
Full. That's so perfect for this occasion.
There's also this one.
Oh, Katie has one too. What if I light it on fire? Exactly. So what's Randall doing?
I want to put my face in the hole and see what I can see.
You're going to put your face in the hole. Okay. So as you put your face in the hole, you can see. I mean, this is you are in a very vulnerable position right now, up to here with jagged, like wood splinters.
like that. Not
Oh,
like...
okay. You're not putting
No,
face
I wanna-
face against
Yeah.
the hole. Okay. All right. When you said in the hole, I kind of assumed in
Yeah,
the
but I
hole.
said
Not...
face in the hole. Like...
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. I can see. Okay. Well, in which case, all you see is you have a better angle of this. You're basically at not quite floor level, but it is the floor of the inside of this. You can very easily have a horrible waft of just rotten meat and kind of dead fish, which is just kind of makes you wrench in your mouth. It's pretty disgusting. But you can kind of see, for very quickly, you see green feet, very small green feet, pad along this corridor. It looks like the wall on the other side of this room is maybe 2.5 feet away from you. This is a very thin corridor.
There's nothing that obvious that I could like get a purchase on to like knock some support away or like open it up or.
Give me an investigation check.
Another investigation check.
We need an investigation check, can't it?
Or perception if
true.
you want. I'll take perception.
Could add 3 to that.
Okay, add 3 to that. Okay, all right. Well, you've identified a piece of the woodwork behind that you think is crucial to keeping this part of the facade. My God,
Safe facade.
kind of. It's like a support plank, as it were. You think that with enough force, you could probably break that. Is that
Wait, what's the...
okay? In which case, give me a strength check.
A facade check.
That is an absolute excellent emote. Oh my God.
Snort's found it
That
out by
is
accident today because he just
so
typed in
good.
BOP in capital letters and was like, what? There's a Twitch
That
global
is
moment,
so
BOP?
good. That's so perfect. That's amazing. That's a load-bearing poster. All right, with a strong 18, you manage to. Are you whacking your quarterstaff into this? Okay, you
Yep.
bop it.
Bop it.
Again, this is not excellent construction work. It's by no means structurally sound. So, giving a bop in the right position, you hear a loud crunch behind the facade, and you see that a portion of it kind of clunk, falls away and leans towards you. It is dangling, but you can see that about 5 foot of the wall, 1 foot off, so 6 foot in total, but 5 foot of it is now at an angle, leaning away. It's just a bunch of planks of wood that have been kind of haphazardly hammered together, and nailed together, and are now dangling away. You can see there are a small couple of bits of like rope that appear to be attached to some kind of lever that are keeping it in place. It looks like you've broken the mechanism that would have moved it aside, but now it's just it's a mangled bunch of ropes that are just keeping it there.
Okay. I want to just try and like get in.
Okay, yeah, you can probably
Like,
manage that.
if I can like leave it around or like finagle myself around it, but like
You could definitely finagle. Finagle big time.
found a way in.
Unfortunately, this is too small for Nugget, and it is almost too small for you guys. It is a crawl space. You find your way in, and it is very cramped, but you're in there. As you get in there, you can kind of see at the far end of the corridor to your south, there is an end to this bizarre corridor that kind of opens up into a better lit area that you can see once again is made out of some kind of stone. Nerily, you following Randall?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you guys clamber into this tiny crawl space, just overwhelmed with the scent of just disgusting lack of cleanliness and hygiene.
Station to put smell good in front of my face.
It's much better. And we move back to our other scene. In our other scene, Oro, you are in front of the sleepiest queen that you've ever seen.
How long did it take you to think of that one?
That was literally off the top of my head, that one.
That's really good. She's beautiful. Wow.
Yes, most beautiful woman in the world.
I can tell.
She doesn't have your hair, though. Someone on the back is like, doesn't have your hair, though.
No. Hey, could we get my friends? I think they're going to be really worried. I don't want them to.
Could you do a perception check, please?
Ooh, a solid 9.
Okay.
Can I do? Is it worth doing my lucky roll so I can re-roll
You
it?
want it? Yeah, if you
Because
want it.
every stream I forget about it. So perception. Oh, 22.
Okay. Now, on multiple occasions, not only have you noticed that people are eyeing up your belongings, but you've also had the opportunity to therefore place them back in. This has happened multiple times with multiple different goblins. So, thankfully, because of your just observantness, you've managed to kind of put them back and then notice when someone's grabbed them again. So, I mean, people have been taking them out and having a look at them, and you've had a chance to just take them back and put them back. This is kind of more of a check for you to have kept an eye and just remember the sheer number of things that have been removed from your person and that you've had to replace. So you are currently still in possession of all of your items.
Sick. Sick. Do I still have all my hair? Is my hair gone? Are we okay?
All of your hair is still in place. It is not, I mean, it's a mess, but it's still there. Have we got it? Have we got?
Aww, it's so cute.
Oh, what a beautiful egg. Here comes
That's
egg.
the egg.
Here comes the egg.
Beautiful.
Strawberry flavored pencils.
I love those.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
I love them. You don't have them in America?
Do you call
No.
them ropes?
We have flavored straws, but you can actually drink out of them.
No.
Yeah, they're strawberry pencils. You don't write with them. You just eat them.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Oh, good.
Yeah, really
Go down.
tasty. Man, now I want some. Damn you, quarantine. Tomorrow is my grocery day. So I'm
Oh.
going to go get some groceries tomorrow. We have other roped-based candies. Taco flavored.
What the?
Taco.
I still
You see-
have back from Tom's snack drawer, and I'm not even ashamed.
You did? I knew that you'd taken some out and you started eating them, but I kind of just assumed that you'd finished them. I didn't realize you took them home with you.
Smart.
It's
Smart.
fucking outrageous.
Oh, they
got-
gone.
oh, they got.
Those were airport snacks.
Fucking outrageous. Outrageous. Right, well. They stinky humans is.
No, they're good. I don't want them to hurt. To be confused as to why I'm taken, and we're only here to help you guys, and they're only here to help you. So we need to go get them to make sure they're okay.
What do you do to help, though? What do you want?
We've
Why are
been
you here? Where have you been? Where have you been?
Loaded question.
Why are you so different?
Loaded question. Where do you want? it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We were told that there's something you guys don't want.
Why do you speak different?
I've never met another goblin.
Every single goblin in the room inhales so loudly that it is just a cacophonous, just horrible noise of just everyone going. Every single one of them.
A horrible scream.
In the background, you can hear a clambering thud as Randall falls out of the crawl space into the kitchen. And then there's just everyone, like all the goblins are clearly still fixated on you. What? The first goblin that ever spoke to you, who snorted in your face,
I get it.
is the one who's been doing the most conversational work here. And it just goes, what? No sea goblins?
No, never in real, with never actual real goblins. No.
And they just start putting their hands on your face and just like looking at you properly, like. But you is goblin.
He's goblin.
And they look at your ears, and they start to open up your lips so they can look at your teeth and stuff, and then they're like handling your skull to make sure it's the right shape. But where you been?
Oh, I was left somewhere as a baby, and I've been in the circus.
Maybe you, holy gobbo.
Oh no!
Crazy
no.
gobbo.
What?
Outside gobbo. Weird gobbo. Strong gobbo?
Oh no!
They grab your arms and they look for muscles.
It's just noodles.
But not danger noodles, which are a different thing entirely.
True.
Thank you for correcting my pronunciation of fucking cacophonious. I don't know how to say it. It's so much of a word.
Cacophonous.
Cacophonous.
Like cacophonous.
No, you're right. Cacophonous. That's the fucking way. Thank you. Cacophonous.
Tess, congratulations on becoming a goblin.
Oh, congratulations on joining
The Goblin Army.
Should it be the Gobbo Circus?
these goblins. All of these goblins are based on Jenny's chat goblins.
Oh.
So the first one's all snorty. That's so cute.
A lot of them are also named from the first, 10. They've all got different variations of their name that are based on the person that got Gobbo.
Which Gobbo has a flute?
There are, as you've been looking around, you've noticed there are several items that are very strange that you probably wouldn't expect in this kind of nomadic tribal sense, including a large dodecahedron. You've seen a huge spoon in the kitchen as you pass through the kitchen. It was big enough that there was also right next to it an even bigger spoon.
Spoon's too big.
But there's been so many gobbos. You've been so overwhelmed. It's hard to really bring it all in, There's just too much going on. Plus, I also don't have the list of all of the trinkets that people asked for. So,
What's the name of the flute goblin?
What did Docs want? What was yours?
I literally don't even remember. I was just trying to think.
God.
You were just
Is there a
drunk? Is that what
tutu
you just
gobbo?
said?
Yes, there is a tutu gobbo.
Tutu's made out of rags tied up in a blanket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just kind of again the kind of same. It's just an awful material, but painted like a pinkish color. It's like a light red, close to a pink sort of thing, with just the same kind of hand painting.
It's just blood.
And like I said, they all kind of they're just very confused by your existence right now. In the other room, Neurali, Randall, perhaps Neroli enters in slightly more dignity than Randall did. This isn't because Randall's an idiot in any kind of sense. It's because he was flummoxed by the height difference between him being in a crawl space and getting out. And Neroli perhaps having seen that,
Has learned.
has learned. So you both remove yourself from crawl space, and you are in this huge kitchen.
Smells so bad.
Prestidigitation. Give me your sleeve. And I pulled up his sleeve and I prestidigitation the sleeve. Smell like blueberries.
Safety.
Safety blueberries.
Is there
Smells,
more than one way
again,
to go?
Almost not bad, but still bad. Almost not bad. No, so there is pretty much a one-track pathway from here. You can see that there are a couple of smaller different alleys and stuff, but they all seem to loop around back to the same area. It's almost like they're just pillars of stone that are in the way more than anything. There is one direct route from you to another kind of bunch of rooms, but there is a as you kind of, I assume, walk down this corridor. You tell me.
Walk quickly but quietly.
Yeah.
Quickly but quietly. Okay. Down through this passageway, you find yourself. In front of you is a door. To the left of you is a wide open makeshift throne room of some kind, where Oro, who's currently got their hair pulled out up to here by multiple different goblins, is again surrounded by between 20 to 30 goblins. At the far side of the room, you can see just one very extravagant goblin with rings on her neck, who is fast asleep. They are very much distracted by Oro.
Like lean over very quietly and whisper to Randall, like literally like uncomfortably close so they can't hear me. Have you read about anything like this?
I don't know. Have I?
No, I can safely say no matter what you roll, you have never heard anything like this, ever.
No.
Unfortunately, Oro, having just gifted things to the Queen, is not facing in your direction.
How far away can I do? How big is the room?
Let's polygon reveal
Whoa. Whoa.
where you currently are.
50 to 100 wild boars. Oh no.
Oop. Okay.
So is
So
this the room
there's
we're in right here?
Yes.
Okay. And where's Oro?
Oro is, so this stone up here is going to be the throne. Oro is almost directly in front of the stone. Stone to throne.
Stone throne.
Stone throne.
On Tom, head in the
So,
game.
If we're here, then that's only
No,
10
you
feet
guys.
away.
No, you guys are down like in the corridor,
Oh, like
far.
like right here.
Like I was thinking closer to like back here, because this is turn the corner, see a shit ton of goblins, and be like, okay, let's maybe take a step back and assess the situation, kind of deal. But there is space between you and this swarm of gobbos. They are all currently distracted by Oro, and they are. We're getting little drawings here.
Been pointed.
So they are all around Oro currently. That is an accurate representation of where they are.
Okay.
Of where the queen is and where Oro is.
I don't have message. I nothing that can help from over here.
What do we do? Do we?
Do they look like they're hurting her?
Give me a perception check.
19.
There is nothing that indicates to you that she has been harmed in any way. It doesn't look like they have any kind of aggression. Some of them look very perplexed.
Again, quietly.
They're being very handsy with her, though.
Yeah.
Not inappropriately so, to make that very clear, but they are definitely like they're like looking at her hair, like they've got hands on her face and stuff. And Oro, does Oro look uncomfortable? It seems like an uncomfortable situation. But is she kind of just like, you tell me?
I think she's pretty calm about it. She's like trying to, diffuse the panic. So
okay, all right. She's in control of the situation.
These gobs are fucking spreading corona. Migu.
Social distancing, Jesus.
No, gosh. Don't touch your face. Don't touch their face. These videos are going to be highly dated by these jokes.
Yeah, right. I was literally thinking, like, I'm sure there are going to be sociological studies and stuff in the future of people being like, how like coronavirus changed like social media and stuff, and like it would be a perfect example of us being like making corona jokes during our D&D streams.
Yeah. So since I was already kind of like, have you seen anything like this? As I'm watching, I'm just gonna say, like, again, really quietly, like, they're not hurting her, and she doesn't look like she's in a lot of duress. More just like calmly accepting the situation. So maybe we'll just wait to see.
Yeah, but I'm ready to whack.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of them. But obviously, the whole like graveyard thing, like, there's like intelligence and understanding, so maybe we can talk to them if we need to, or she can. I don't know if they can talk to us.
Okay, we'll just wait.
Okay. All right. You are still being just gawked at, kind of like you're not like a freak, but you're a marvel. Like they have very much taken in the fact that you are wearing armor, like people armor, not like you can see that some of them have like most of their clothes barely fits. Many of them have rips and tears in them. They look happy and comfortable enough, but they're like none of them amongst them look like they are warriors or capable of fighting. They have weapons, but they hold them clumsily, and they don't seem they are dulled. You can see just from your interactions with them so far that they are more for show than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean they are just absolutely just shocked by you and your existence. And they're just like, you gobbo.
Yeah.
But they like kind of like pull at your clothes and stuff. But not gobbo.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just brought up with other human-y people, good human people.
So from your understanding of the language that it's a very crude language, and the syntax isn't really quite the same as common, and that putting the word good in the same word as the word human makes no grammatical sense. To your ears and the ears of people who can speak Goblin, it doesn't work. Like it's jarring. But you say it anyway, and everyone's like, they no kill you.
No, they looked after me really well, and everyone loved me, and I'm fine, and they taught me how to speak Goblin, and told me about you, and
Oh, it's like that. It's like thing. It's like that thing. It's like that thing, and everyone in the room just kind of collectively goes, Like it all looks like everyone in the room is trying really hard to remember something, but they can't. Everyone collectively in the room is trying super hard to just grasp something that's on the tip of their tongue, and then it's like, not bad, the not bad fight human, the not bad fight human. And they all get very visibly frustrated about their inability to remember. In this frustration, some of them are jumping around like, and they turn around and they look dead into the faces of Randall and Nerily. And a bunch of them kind of lift up their swords and their shields or their spears, and they like point at you.
Okay.
They look like they have no idea how to use those weapons, but they are trying very hard to intimidate you.
I wanna kind of like not run straight to them, but like make haste towards between the space where they are and the goblins are, and just be like in front of all the goblins.
And
like face the goblins and be like, it's fine, they're cool, right guys, you cool, you good?
Are you switching between languages here?
Well, I'll say it in goblin to them, and then I'll be like, you good in common to them too.
Yeah. What's happening?
They're fine.
The rest of them are all just holding swords and shields and spears, and a couple of them are clumsily holding bows with arrows that are not quite. They're like they've got like sticks with no arrowheads on.
It's a quarterstaff.
Yeah. It's fine.
So with prestidigitation, I can make trinkets that'll fit in my hand. It doesn't specify what those like look like or are made out of or anything like that. And do I see the like decorum on the queen, right? You said obviously she's like decorated and stuff. So I'm just gonna make like a little rock that looks like a sapphire in my hand, and like hold it out and kind of like toss it on the ground over by them.
Okay, all right. One of them that's quite close to Oro, like the closest one. We'll say it snorts. Kind of picks it up. And they speak in common, which is the first time that Oro's heard them speak in common, and it is very jarring to the ear for people who don't speak Goblin. And they kind of say, "She us. She know you.
She knows us, but she's not us." That makes sense.
Why are you here?
I was scared you're going to hurt her.
At this stage, you hear a huge bang and a smack as the stone doors in the kitchen collapse in, and flaps very quickly get demonstrated as a huge whoosh comes right past both of your heads, and a skirt noise of the claws of Nugget that carve into the ground as he does this kind of like as he does a Tokyo drift. Launches himself towards Oro, right next to Oro, defensive position.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're good. Everything's.
Yeah, the queen is absolutely perfect. Yeah.
She's drunk, probably. Goblin sangria.
It's very sleepy.
All that ruling. It's tiresome work.
Okay, we're good. We're fine. It's fine. No, we're good. We're fine.
It takes a very long time for Nugget to come off of alert.
we were here to find something, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
This'll sent us. Don't know if that makes any difference to them. Okay.
What? You take Gobbo!
No.
No,
You trick Gobbo.
no. I've only known them.
Mind who have Gobbo.
There's nothing wrong with my mind. It's fine.
Okay.
Promise.
They stink.
That's true. They do. I mean, you can't help.
Multiple of the people in the room then, after seeing Snorts go, then immediately also all follow and do the same thing. They're all like sniffing, and blah. One or two of them actually throw up.
Oh god.
It's the soap. Ah.
The person who sent us said that you wanted something gone.
What?
Was there anything more to what she said?
She said we'd know it when we saw it.
No, when we saw it.
And so they wouldn't mind us taking it, or
You take stuff?
It was something that you didn't want.
Is there anything that's causing
We
you
want
trouble?
stuff. We don't want not stuff.
Is there any bad stuff around that hurts or causes trouble?
Bad stuff.
Yeah.
Bad stuff. You bad stuff.
No.
No.
So that's
Bad
been
stuff, not you.
No,
Other
no,
bad stuff.
Other bad stuff.
Yeah?
Like what?
Follow. Snorts grabs Oro by the arm and pulls them along down the other room. And
Snort
does so
seems exactly like a goblin name too. That's so funny. Continue.
really lends itself to it.
Yeah.
No, this is supposed to be an honoration thing. It's not supposed to be me taking the piss out of you. I promise. I don't know if Snorts might not even be there anymore. But
He's probably asleep.
I promise you, Snorts. This is not supposed to be a mean thing. This is me respecting you. Drags Oro past you guys, looking very aggressive, and down the corridor, pushes open the door into the next room. Here we go. Reveal areas. Boop, boop, boop. Okay.
Finesse.
So in this room, you can see that there are more Gobbo children. Some of them in the corner have been playing with what you assume to be toys. Some of them are just colored rocks. Some of them have faces drawn on them. Another is just an actual skull. It looks like a human skull. You can see that one of them is just like it's a very well-rounded rock, and they are rolling it along the floor. You can see that there's an older goblin female in here. This appears to be, taking care of them. And on the eastern side of this room is a door that is closed and barred. The stone structure here is clearly not goblin made. This is something that was here before they were, but they have commandeered it, taken it over. And when this door has kind of a barring situation here, where you can put a piece of a plank of wood or whatever through a slat. The wood is well reinforced, and you can see that they have rammed a bunch of makeshift goblinoid furniture up against this door as well. As you step into this room, give me a perception check. Randall.
That's me.
Ooh.
A perception check. You notice something on the... Pardon me? Pepsi, I'll do it to you. You can notice something on the
Spotted.
door in the
PSA.
northeast. There is a circular mechanism in the center of it that resembles.
Reminiscent?
That's the word.
Oh,
Reminisces you of.
That is reminisces, is reminiscent of the lock mechanism that requires your talisman.
As we go past, I'm gonna like elbow Nurali and be like, "Look at that! Recognize that?"
It looks like your thing. Why would that be here?
I don't know, but I'm sure it is.
That's why she asked us for help.
As they get to the door, this big bolted door, you can see a familiar kind of makeshift contraption that appears to have like a lever that they can pull that removes a facade, giving a very small window of sight into the next room. You need to clamber on a lot of different bits of goblinoid furniture to be able to reach it, and it is not appropriate for human height, I'm afraid. But Snorts kind of pushes Oro up, pulls the lever, and this contraption opens. What you can see in the next room is a throne room. It's a very long, drawn-out throne room. Either side of this room, you can see that there are small raised platforms that have that look like urns with treasure items in them, but goblinoid treasure. So it's stuff like some of it's gold, some of it's copper, some of it's just shit. You can see that there's like a cart wheel in there. Like there's just stuff. But the far end of it, there is quite an ornate for goblins throne on the far side of the room. But there is carnage in here. There is a absolute massive beefy buff. I need to get better vocabulary for beefy buff things. Orc who is wailing on goblins and just annihilating them. But as he does so, these goblins are cast into these shadow forms. He cuts them open with this giant sword that he has, and not only do they fall into pieces, you can see that they kind of smear as if they were made out of kind of smoke and ink. Like it's some kind of painting that just gets drawn out and it remains in the air. And then he turns and he fights another, and he cuts it into pieces. It's drawn out and cut across the air in front of him. And then Beefy Buff is well done. Great. Thanks, Adam. Distracted during this by Beefy Buff. But as he kills the third goblin, the first one reforms. You can see that there's this horrible kind of echoey shadow figure of these goblins, as well as the orc himself, as he is cutting them down. You can see around the room there are other figures of other goblins who have also been cut down, and they seem to be stuck in some limbo of not death, as they are kind of, some of them being sewn back together and then pulled apart again in some kind of echo of some fight that appears to have not been finished. None of the goblins in this room are the same color as these goblins. They have all been tainted by some kind of dark essence that has painted their skin and their figure and their clothes. They no longer look like the same race of goblins. And Snorts pulls you back down again and says, "Bad! Not good, bad!"
Orc bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not killing, bad! Killing bad! He's trying to speak in common for everybody else. He's doing a very poor job of it. he says in Goblin instead, "Just out of nowhere! Show up, kill everyone!" but not actually kill everyone. Kill these people. Kill ghost gobbos.
Oh.
So we get a queen and we run and we lock door.
Oh. When did this happen?
A couple weeks ago.
Shit.
Time is a construct.
Time is a social construct.
I agree.
They have no sunlight or moonlight, so how do they know? What it is?
That's true. Okay. So you want the orc dead?
Kill bad.
Kill.
He says again out in common.
Okay. Right. What do you know why he came here? No. Okay.
We don't want to hurt nobody.
No. I know.
We hide. We in a well.
Yes, you're in a well. Yeah.
Actually
Actually in a well.
in a way.
Well, actually, in a well.
Well. All right. Well. Guys, there was a big orc in there. Killing like shadowy versions of a sort of goblin race that wasn't this goblin race. It like looked like different goblins. He was just like going at him, killing them. Apparently, it like happened a couple of weeks ago or something. I don't know. Time's a construct, but.
Can you give me a perception check?
Oral again?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Someone should ask how long ago something happened. The response be based on some batshit crazy way of measuring time.
Oh yes,
It was
it's
2 caves ago.
4 catched fish.
10 sleeps and 7 poops.
Okay,
actually, yeah.
nice roll. Okay, so you notice there is something about the kind of the spectral effect that reminds you of something.
Mhm.
Reminiscent. Remenses. Reminds you of the kind of ghostly silhouette of Harlow and the rat creature that you killed in the sewer.
Oh.
You can kind of see this weird kind of purpley stretching of space around them.
Wait, who looked like that?
Harlow.
No, the orcs.
Both the orcs, but it's most concentrated around the orc.
Right.
But the goblins have it to a minor extent as well.
How
Okay.
long has it been since we started adventuring? Like, when
Are you
we
asking
left
me
this
or?
Yes. I mean,
It's like been a week, right?
It's been about 3 houses.
3 houses. But we can actually tell.
That's a
time in
measure
way
of
that makes
distance.
sense.
Is it though?
How long
Is
does
it a
take to build
measure of
house?
distance?
That's what he said. It was 3 houses away.
I know,
So,
but is it though?
yes.
It's a batshit measurement. It's time. Okay, that's actually temperature.
Oh no, let's not get back into the measuring temperature. Yeah.
Let's stick to SI units, please. You don't think this could have started when we did the other thing
I
in
mean,
the sewers?
okay. How long have we been adventuring for? Actually, like we do, we
Yeah.
would have.
Let's work it out.
Let's work it out. How many days have passed?
I don't know.
Oh well, no, I actually.
I only think it's
I was
been
gonna
like
I
say,
did know.
Who's got the best notes here? Oh, Randall's amazing at
Randall's
taking
shit.
I
notes.
was keeping track of which
Randall's
day it
diary
was,
is incredible.
and then I gave up. because
I
it
have
was
notes,
such
but
effort.
sometimes like days don't end at the end of every session, so it's like
No, exactly. That's why I gave up.
confusing.
I think it's going to be around. It's going to be over 2 weeks. I think.
Yeah, I think
Over
probably
14
that.
days.
really? I felt like it was like 10 days.
Shall we work it out?
It's
We
been
can
Six-
work it out.
16 times the fish have jumped since Nearly burned down that village.
I didn't burn down a village at all.
Doc, you're a bit low on volume. You have to shout at us. Doc
Oh.
speaks softly.
Yeah,
I
you're-
thought
You're always too
Doctor's-
quiet, dogs.
Doctor's-
Can you stop
he-
being so
his-
quiet, please?
His volume's
Sorry.
okay.
It's
if
a
he spoke
nightmare in
loud.
editing.
we have to turn him up. Oh, we can't do that on Zoom, can we? It's not like
No.
Discord.
Can you turn yourself up, Tox?
Maybe.
I'll try and work out days whilst you're looking at that.
Oh, look at that. Excellent delegation.
No.
Exactly. I didn't burn down a village.
It was a hamlet, if anything.
And it was only 2 buildings. There were so many more buildings than just those 2.
God damn it.
He is trying to seduce me with his soft speak.
Thank you, Migu. It's a very comfy silk robe.
I can turn myself up like that.
Both in
maybe.
robes.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
why I was like, hey.
I think you're getting louder, yeah.
Whisper softly to us.
No.
Oh,
That's
that's,
so weird.
yeah.
Oh
That's
my
much
god,
better.
we can hear
Oh
dogs.
my
No.
god.
I'm
Oh
just
my
used to him speaking quietly, to be fair. My ears are just attuned to it.
You're a magical item that he is attuned to.
Not okay with that.
Oh,
Accept my love. No
love me,
residences
love
were
you.
harmed in the passing through of this hamlet. They've not
No
destroyed anything
residences.
either.
Not a single residence.
Not a single residue was left.
There was much residue that that was left. Okay, there you go. I was like, there was much residue that was destroyed. Gross residue.
Gross.
Yeah, it was very gross.
Ew. Big gross.
So in character, we would actually know how many days have passed. Does it seem like the same amount of time?
What we are up time? Yeah.
Brandel is linking dots that may not be linked. Like, it's got to be connected. Like, there's another door.
Was it the DM being like, probably? Was that too much of a hint to you that they're not connected?
Maybe they will be someday, but currently right now, who knows?
Write down your thoughts now, just in case I
Take them
on
for later.
something.
I'm on day 9 and we've just slept at Bobbitt's. And this,
Yeah, so
this was
notes.
session 12, so
What
we're on
great
session
notes.
15.
Oh my god.
Well, they're not, you've gone to sleep. I'm just reading them and being like, oh yeah, we slept at Bobbitt's house. Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
slept over that.
Yeah, so it's been like 11 days now, I guess.
But it's also like almost it's nighttime basically now. It's late evening now because you traveled for a day and you
Mhm.
didn't rest.
And they said a couple of weeks with a question mark, so we could assume it's like roughly the same
Yeah.
time.
It's close enough. Move to another door and then
Another
Right.
weird ghost thing. And the other one went away when the rat thing was destroyed, so maybe we have to destroy the orc.
maybe,
Is that the-
maybe there's something else. Like, why did the orc come here?
Yeah. It seems like there was like unfinished business stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When I like turn and look at the goblins and like I'm gonna say this and Oro might have to translate, but it's like when the orc came, was he real or was he like this?
They all kind of figure out vaguely what you're saying. They can speak common, just not very well.
Yeah,
And they just
like this.
demon, demon orc, gross bad, danger, bad no good.
That's
Yes.
true.
Do
Well.
do orcs have a language? Is it just orcish? Is that it?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I don't think I
Hope
see
it was
that.
giant that I could speak to.
Some orcs might speak giant, but they have their own language.
Some orcs might speak Goblin
Depends.
and Common
Wow. Crazy.
and Celestial.
Dun-dun-dun.
Now I'm just gonna try to speak to Celestial to every orc.
So I can find the one.
The one,
The one.
the destined.
Did I notice the little thing on the wall that Randall's talisman thing, or whatever? Did I notice that?
Chances are you were probably a bit too busy being pulled along by Snorts.
Okay.
And they didn't specifically mention it to you because they were kind of talking amongst themselves whilst you were being pulled along.
Mm-hmm.
But I did say it again when we got here. It's like with the shadow thing and then the door.
Okay.
Door? Door? What was on the
There's a talisman door thing. We
talisman
went
door?
past it. Like in the sewers.
Look at the circle right there.
Oh, what? I asked Snorts what's the talisman door thing about?
Always been there.
Always been there. We've seen another one of those.
Wait,
Pretty
isn't
strong door, couldn't open.
wasn't there an orc in Harlow's party?
No, I don't think there was. Given Tom's indication, I don't believe so.
There were a couple dead in the sewer. Who did you get that from? Randall? The thing.
The talisman. It was Atticus gave it to me, I think.
But who does it belong to?
It belonged to.
You found
what's
that you
his
didn't
face?
find the talisman
Did
from
I?
Atticus. You
Was it
found the
not?
talisman
Oh, he gave me a
on a
thing.
body of a robber in the sewer.
Oh, yes.
And you found a note that suggested that the robbers had been to your manor.
Yes, but I took it back to Atticus and he was like, he recognized it.
Oh.
Does the shadow orc look like the orc that was in the sewer?
No.
Isn't the guy who owned the talisman, like, out of character question? Because I don't know if I don't remember whether or not Nurley knows this or not. The guy who owned it, like the proprietor, the adventurer who owned the
Caspian.
house, wasn't he Caspian? Isn't he an orc?
No.
Oh, I thought he was like an orc or a half orc this whole time. I don't know why
Unless
I thought
I wrote that in my notes at some point. I don't think
Let me-
have I
let me look.
accidentally.
The first notes I have the two things you said I knew at the beginning of the campaign, and my first notes that are all caps bolded and highlighted is the Great Dane is named Parsnip. So clearly I had very specific.
Oh, didn't mean to do that.
I might have just assumed that the person wasn't a robber and that orc was in fact Atticus that had somehow died, or maybe. And I like stuck to that thought in my mind.
Yeah,
I definitely thought.
I mean, in the story, he is not.
Okay.
There's a chance that I may have misspoken at some point because brain farts.
Okay.
But if I have at any point misspoken and suggested that he was an orc, I now retcon that. He is not.
Okay.
I mean, he's directly related to Randall. Not that necessarily suggests all that much, but the implication here is that he's not.
Okay. Just kidding. I retract anything that I might have just said in the last couple minutes. Well, if we're going to go in there and we're going to fight a shadow demon orc, I definitely would like to take a nap first.
Could we not get through that door with the talisman thingamajig?
We should be able to.
We definitely probably can.
Definitely, probably.
Is it possible?
Maybe.
You can see at the door where they have clearly tried to break open the door in several different areas. The stone has been chipped at by different weapons and things, and it's just not budged. So clearly they've tried to open it and now believe that it is impossible to open because they couldn't do it.
I can open it.
Can't.
Can you
Go
try?
and open it.
I think before you
Stupid human.
try, maybe we should move the babies.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know why they were
Go,
close
babies,
to
go.
this anyway.
Go, babies.
Go babies.
Go
But if I
babies,
can-
go babies, go. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
If I can open it, anything in there is mine.
But what if can't open?
Then I'll give
Everything you
stuff.
have is mine. Deal.
Okay. No, not doing that. Not doing that.
And no open door.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll do it.
Shake hand. I'm done.
That was a very real gag.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Randall immediately turns to Nerdy and goes,
Just puts the hand out like, please. Please press the digitation.
I do your hand, and then I also am just like cleaning my clothes for no reason, just because I feel gross.
Oh. Snows looks very, very confident.
and I open
The
the door.
longer this goes on, the more I feel bad about naming him Snorts. I'm sorry.
It makes sense for him to be named Snorts if he likes to hawk
Yeah,
loogies in his hand. So you
Mhm.
know.
Okay, I'm gonna clunk. Plonk.
It very easily slots into the into the receptacle, turning it, and allows a large click noise in the door behind it, and a small whirring begins as the kind of the structure pulls itself apart. And inside, you find that there is once again, I mean, I can reveal it, but it's just a little. There's another small room, a Caspian cache. That's what I've been calling them in my notes. Inside, you find that there is a singular chest. This is a very long chest. It's about 6 foot long, and it is kind of sturdy make. It doesn't appear to have suffered any wear and tear over the ages, or over the years rather. And you can see that there is a engraving in the wall on the side. It looks like the engraving has some kind of strange. It's like you're trying to read it, but it's blurry. And you can't tell whether or not it's a characteristic of the writing itself or if it's your eyes, but something about it. It's legible. You can read it, but it's hard to focus.
Weird.
Somebody cast blur on this wall. But this is where the orc thing is.
No,
No,
it's a different
no.
room.
Oh my
This
god.
is
Okay. I thought the circle was in the door that
No,
was
no,
holding the
different
orc
one. Yeah,
back,
yeah, no,
which
no.
is why I was like, if we're gonna open this, I'd like to take a nap first. And then he opens it, and I was like, okay, sure, whatever, man.
I got 2 spells.
Yeah, 3. I got 3 big spells.
No, this is a different one. Different
Okay.
one.
What does the writing say?
That's a very good question. And I'm just going to quickly demonstrate the other way. Oh, shut up. So that you can see the rest of the other room.
It's a Caspi cache. A Caspian.
Caspian.
Or a cache. Feel free to laugh at the jokes at any time.
Yeah. I was busy, okay?
There we go. Thank you.
Guys, you know, all right? Whilst I'm focusing, you are in control of entertaining Katie.
Katie makes too smart jokes. I never get them. They're always too smart for me. I try, and there are always references that I don't get or words that I don't understand.
I was just remaking the Caspian cache joke, is all that it was.
I don't know what a Caspian cache is. I wrote it down in my notes,
see.
like I'll Google that later and find out what it is.
No, because Caspian is the guy who gave him the thing, and when we fought the rat thing with Carlo, there was that cache, and so it's He left caches behind for adventures. A Caspian cache.
Cash full of cash.
Caspian cash full of cash.
A Caspian.
Caspian. Okay. Right. Shall we? Do you want to know what it says?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also want you to copy and paste it to me somewhere.
I will copy and paste it to you.
Thank you.
These caves, laden with buried stonework rooms, might have been a crypt before they were filled with goblins. This dungeon was filled with a tribe of their folk who had been raiding villages and routes for miles around. We were fulfilling a post put up by Mayor of Nesmith, Joseph Winthrop, a call to stop the raids by slaying the beasts. Unsurprisingly, we were attacked on sight. We cut them down. Pushing into their cavern, we found a diverse, fascinating culture. A mausoleum, decorations, religious symbols. But we had a job to do, and their baubles would not distract us. We were there for the glory, for the treasure, for the reward. But as we fought, I found myself ill at ease. Though they spoke in gargled tongues and broken common, they did speak. They cried out when we drew their blood, they ran when they were defeated, and they showed malice when challenged by outsiders. When we had executed their fighters, we found ourselves in their common room. In a confrontation with their chieftain and his guards, we found ourselves broken and bleeding, but victorious. Escariel and I decided we had done enough to stop the raids. Without their muscle, they would have had no ability to pillage and murder. They were crippled. We had done our duty. There was no need to kill children and the elderly, those that had laid down their weapons. We had killed those responsible for raiding the trade route and killing innocents. There was no reason to become monsters ourselves. We put it to the rest of our party, the kobold, Barf, and our newest member, the half-orc Ulfgar Multooth, that we should retreat to patch our wounds, regroup. We camped a few hours away, but Ulfgar was not content with our plan to leave the tribe alone. Escariel woke me in the night. Ulfgar had gone and bullied Barf to go with him. We tracked them down back to the cave. In the tribe's common room, we found the kobold Barf, filled with remorse. He told us he couldn't follow through with whatever mindless slaughter Ulruk had in mind. He led us to him, passing a trail of bodies. At the end of it, a monster. Ulfgar, his blade raised with the intent to draw the black blood of the elders and younglings alike. And adventurers slay monsters. And it ends there.
Shit.
Not the younglings.
Not the younglings. In the case below, you find that there is a small collection of gems, which I'm going to skip over the pleasantries of you figuring out and evaluating how much they cost, because who cares? It's about worth roughly 40 gold pieces. And the long chest is home to a quarterstaff. A quarterstaff that has clearly is of strong quality. It is. It looks
Fine
like it
wood.
is a walking stick that has been kind of well secured, kind of fortified, as it were,
Reinforced.
reinforced, yeah, by metal studs and wrappings down the shaft.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to take it.
Okay. And on that, we may call it quits. Adieu.
So long, farewell.
So you guys want to take a rest, I assume, before you go off and fight anything.
Yeah.
I, for one, would definitely like that.
Okay.
Yes.
During this long rest, is there anything that you would like to do?
Attune to any magic.
Maybe
spells
identify the
that might
staff.
have been
Maybe
picked up.
Yeah.
use your fancy amulet, perhaps.
Learn a story about it.
Learn a story about the stick.
It's story time.
I'm gonna take some of the yarn that I have, and I'm gonna make little yarn dolls.
Oh, for
goblin
the baby
kids.
gobbos. Cute.
Aw, cute.
Very cute. It looks like it won't do well with a monk at all. Nope, not a monk weapon. If only we had a magical halberd. I like to throw in items that are not completely useless, but not necessarily completely tailored for our players. At the same time as making sure that our players feel like they aren't being left out and stuff.
I always think it's a little bit too on the nose, especially at low levels, when it's like you have 3 different party member types, and every time you find something, it's perfectly suited to you. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why you got a halberd as your first item.
Yes.
I won't be using that. There was some reason I couldn't use it. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't do your monk additional bonus attacks with
I
it.
can when I'm a Kenzai monk, because you can pick anything as your special weapon.
Ooh.
But there's some other reason, like I don't have the right proficiency to use it or something.
Maybe that might be it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the story of the weapon before we go.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a walking staff. It allows you to, whilst you're using it, ignore difficult terrain. It gives you +1 to attack and damage rolls. And we'll get the story. Scroll past this. So the story for this, again, this is after you sleep a restful sleep, you dream a storied dream, as you are given the knowledge of the reason or the owner of this, or perhaps just an event in its history. No great adventurer owned this, just a simple hermit, Yared. Yared was a shepherd and a sage, spending his time learning the masterful art of mime. With nobody to practice with but his sheep, Yared had no idea how powerful his art had become, until, reflexively, when attacked by a pack of orcs, he mimed that he was stuck in an impenetrable box. Confused, they fled from him. Afraid of his power, Yared quit the profession, and his skills were never passed on.
Oh shit.
Sad tale of Yared.
Well,
The truest mime that ever did mime. Right.
sick.
Staff. Can we make a gif of us all going like this?
Well, I was giving you a round of applause.
Ah.
That's like lots of little hits, though. It's fine.
Yeah. It's like a flurry of blows.
Little slaps.
Ow.
Right. GG's, everybody.
Good.
Hope you guys had fun today. I hope you enjoyed our exploration of Gobbo culture
Fuck yeah.
and Gobbo and Oro's Gobbo ancestry.
Origins.
Origins.
Gaborigins.
Oh my god.
And
was-
I became a double gobbo today.
Hell yeah.
Gobbo, double flute.
Does a new gobbo just suddenly appear in the cave?
Right, so for those of you who are gobbos in Jenny's chat using your chins, congratulations, you exist in our canon. You exist within what did we call it? The Gobbo Grotto.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Gobbo Grotto, yeah. That's so
You exist
cute.
in the Gobbo Grotto. All subsequent to the sleepiest queen.
Oh my god, sleepiest! That makes so much sense! I was like, what is wrong with this queen? Duh! Oh man. Jenny K's jokes are always too smart. No. No, I just say dumb shit and expect people to laugh at it. I was worried for Aura, okay.
I was distracted.
I was waiting for her to wake up and do something crazy, and then she didn't, and I forgot about her.
It was.
Don't you facepalm at me.
I only thought of the Queen thing the other day, and I was like, "Why did I not think of this before?" You know what it was when you were streaming the other day? No, it might have been when you were streaming the other day. You were talking about how you had that thing on the Switch where the screen goes black.
Oh yeah.
And you see chins, and you're like, "Why do I have so many chins?" And I was like, "You are a queen!" And then this came about.
Just a queen with chins. There you go.
Katie, hold my wine.
But the chins are a necklace.
I like it.
I thought you were doing like the rings where people would extend their neck with the rings. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was doing
So
that, but they're
several
like
necklaces.
I was like, they're like chins.
Yeah. No, it was perfect. I got it exactly.
Okay, cool.
I just got confused when you called it a necklace, and then I was like, wait, shit, maybe I didn't get it.
Right. I hope you guys. Jenny, I don't understand references. Katie, hold my beer.
That's why you said hold my wine.
Excellent. Oh my god. Right, Jenny.
Yeah.
Are you looking for people to raid?
We can do, although I am probably going to play Animal Crossing soon. So,
Okay.
No raid.
not raid, but probably a short break, so I can bring it back and set everything up and stop the video for uploading it to YouTube's, innit?
Ayo.
Smart.
Ver smart.
Respect.
Ver smart.
Be smart.
I'm gonna get some food and then maybe try Alex with the
Ooh, are
stream.
you going to try and stream it?
I'll try.
Wait,
but
what's
like I said,
Alex?
Half-Life Alex, the VR Half-Life, like not
Okay.
sequel, but
Like a
thing.
mid-wall.
Mid-wall, yeah. I'll try. We'll see how it goes. It might not happen, but it will happen after you've had some time to stream Animal Crossing. So if you get done and bored,
I mean, maybe.
do your own thing. Do your own thing. But if we're not going to raid, in which case, stay safe, everybody.
Yeah, see you next week.
Social distance, wash your hands for 20 seconds. Wash under your fingernails. Wash between your fingers. Wash like you're a germaphobe.
Imagine
We've
how
all
much
learned.
easier it would be.
No, a circle. You gotta go in between and go around.
Yeah,
And you
I
gotta
have
get
to.
in.
I got the whole kit and caboodle teaching because they do the health and safety thing at the brain center that I do because it's attached to a hospital and they do patients, so I have to do that kind of hand washing, and it was really interesting because they bring people in and they're like they have a UV light, so you put the soap and stuff all over your hands and then you go and you wash your hands and you look at it and you can see where you've missed. And it's really interesting. So every time I see those videos where they've got like ink or whatever, and they've got the gloves, and you can see on the gloves the bits that they miss as they go, those I find are really interesting. But it would be better to show one that's like, this is how you might wash your hands and the bits that you'd miss. But they tend to not do that. They tend to just be like, this is how you do it properly. Look, I've got everywhere. Not a, look, this is what you probably do, and this is what it should be.
Right.
Man, now I want to go and do that to see how well I wash because I guarantee you my natural hand washing technique is going to like be perfectly like good for all of that. Because, I always wash my hands twice and I don't count, but I just like do it longer than I feel like I should, which is a long time already. And so it's like I laugh now because I'm that person that everybody's like, some people don't know how to wash their hands, and I'm like, now you're all living my life. All of it. You're all doing it.
Right.
Never wash your hands. Never leave your house. You're right. All right. See you next week. Everyone available for next week?
Next week.
Fine.
Next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
All right.
As far as I'm aware. Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for chilling. See you. Bye.
Bye.